Please confirm that you can hear me by giving me a thumbs up. Awesome. I want everyone to drop their location on the chat board so we'll know where everyone is joining us from. Okay. Abdul joining from Ghana. Welcome, Abdul. Adeola from Lagos. Welcome. Hawkins from Ontario, Canada. Welcome, Hawkins. Nice to have everyone here. Chinere from Lagos. Esther from Kenya. Oh, awesome. Daniel from Ghana. Wow, it's really lovely to have everyone here. Francis from France. Okay. Awesome, 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 awesome. Okay, it's lovely to have everyone here. So before I start this session, have you heard of 10 analytics before? Like, have you come across it? Have you heard from me? Like, have you seen our program? Have you heard of it before? If you heard of it, please put a Y on the chat. If you've not, put an N on the chat too. Well, yes. Yes. So tonight is that popular? Yes. Wow, no. Okay. Yes, 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 yes. 10 analytics is to the word. Welcome everyone. Welcome everyone. It's lovely to have you all here. So please allow me to share my slide for today. Okay. Welcome. Let me welcome you again once more to our Data Engineering Masterclass program. So in this our Masterclass program, we're talking about how to start a career as a data engineer, how to start a career as a data engineer. So when I asked, oh, have you heard of 10 Analytics? Let me just give us a brief info about 10 Analytics. 10 Analytics is an educational technological company helping Africans and people of the Black community to learn premium tech skills and lower the entry barrier in technology. So what do we do? What do we do at Analytics? What services do we offer? We offer data analytics service. We offer business analysis. We offer data engineering. We offer data science. We offer financial analysis. We offer HR analytics, and we offer Power Platform. So our facilitators are top professionals from diverse sectors and reputable companies. They work with Apple, Microsoft, Amazon, PwC, KPMG, Sahara Group, and so on. So meet the founders of 10 Analytics. We have Adiza Suleiman, who has over 10 years of experience in data analysis management consulting company. He has also worked in sports, professional services, and also worked in energy and automobile sectors. And we have our co-founder, Efemena Ibrook, who has over 10 years of experience also. He has a master's degree in in data analysis he has a master's degree from business analysis. So, and Tenalis has had over 3,000 people to transition into tech from diverse community all over Africa and all over the world. We are featured in business newspaper. 10 Analytics help Africans across 4 continents to land tech job. We helped over 22,000 people in 2022 to land tech job. And we also featured in Nairametrics, 1 million up for grab, where we had our hackathon. We shared 1 million naira across to 5 people. 10 Analytics believe in giving us to the community also. It's not just training you. You want to make sure that, okay, you've learned this thing, and even if you didn't learn from us, okay, what can you do with it? Come and showcase your talents. And we are also featured in Punch newspaper. And we are also featured we also had another hackathon this year, $1,000 up for grab also. Okay, so these are our impacts so far in 2023, and we gave a scholarship to over 300 female in the month of March. And okay, so most of our participants after this program, this is the company they work in HSC, they work in Uber, they work in MTN, they work in Glo, they work in KPMG, they work in Access Bank, they work all over, they work in eBay too, all over the companies in the world. So this is our facilitator. We have Daniel Opanubi. Daniel is a data engineer in Integrated Services Limited, and also a facilitator in analytics. He has also worked in Berlin and has a bachelor degree in mechanical engineering, University of Lagos. And we have our data engineering lead, Byron Nije. Byron Nije has over 6 years of experience working across multiple sectors. He's a data engineering lead in analytics. He's also a business and data lead in Toju, data engineer and Explore AI. He has also worked as a data analyst and business analyst, information manager, and more and more. And this is, you can reach out to Byron. Hi, Byron. How are you doing today? Good evening. I think you're muted. Sorry, but I don't think I can hear you. Please, if you can hear Byron, please give a thumbs up. Okay. Just give me 1 minute, Byron. Okay. Byron, you can speak now. I think you're muted. You can speak now. Can you hear me, Byron? Good evening.
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
All right. Welcome. I'll be handing over this session.
Okay. Oh, all right. Thank you very much. Hi, everyone. Good evening from this side. All right. So I would want to go straight into the business of today. All right. So my name is Byron, as Billy has explained, and you are very much welcome to this interesting masterclass session. All right. So let me see if I could share my screen. All right. Where are we? Okay. I believe you all can see my screen, right? Hope it is visible enough. Okay. All right. Great. Okay. So, usually we have our meetings to cover up some kind of basic things in tech to try to make people feel comfortable. All right. So we try to give people heads up and try to do some practical master classes and explain certain things. I think just last how many days back, I think on Friday, we had a kind of discussion like this, and I'm sure some of us that are here were in that particular session where we had to introduce to you, we had to explain to you how not difficult it is to code, okay? Because many people run away from coding. So in analytics, we lead you by the hand. We try to support you no matter the level of coding you are in. So no matter if you are just a beginner or you are intermediate or advanced, our processes just have a way of we have just the right way of leading you properly. Okay, so today we are trying to do something a bit different. Okay, we're trying to start from top to down. So we want to take some steps further to map it from beyond what we've normally been used to. So it's a practical session, all right, but it's not exactly practical, all right. It's not exactly hands-on. That is for you to do as we are doing, because we just want to give you a snippet of what it is like to be a data engineer. Okay, so we want to also break the complexity of what it looks. So we will show you something kind of complex and still break it down to the simple parts where you are going to see how this case was arrived at. So we just don't want to show you what data engineers do and all those things. All right. So we're not here to showcase skill sets and all those stuff, but we are here to give you that light of data engineering and to prove to you that, oh yes, it is possible for you to handle whatever issues, okay, whatever activities that involves data engineering. Now, what do I mean? We have a case study. All right, we have a case study, and the case study is going to explain more about it's going to explain more about how data engineers affect how data engineers affect businesses. Okay, so we want to kind of introduce you and show you how in real case scenarios data engineers or data engineering process could influence businesses. Okay, so you understand with experience. So everybody here is going to have an experience of a data engineer. All right. I would like to confirm I have we some of our students are on this call, and is Chimerika here? Is Can Chimerika say hi to us?
Yeah, hi, I'm here. Good evening,
Okay.
everyone.
All right, cool. Chimerika, welcome. All right, so now, just for the sake of us not trying to, show you some advanced skill sets and tell you that, oh, then, just for you to understand that this is not just the data engineering lead doing this thing. Would like to um, present to you one of our own products, okay? More like he just graduated as a student and he's going to handle this scenario because we want to try to prove to you that you going through this process can make you do what we are about to show you and more, okay? So we are ready to serve you, to assist you, and to push you into becoming that kind of data engineer that you should be, all right? But before I introduce Chimerika, I would like to talk about the case study we want to do here now. All right, so let's see. Oh, let me just do a slideshow. All right, so this is a case study. Okay, we have the likes of an e-commerce company, a very new e-commerce company. Now, if you are involved in starting up businesses, all right, if you're involved in like starting up businesses, no matter the level of businesses, no matter the level of business case scenario, you realize that it's not easy to start a business. All right, there are so many. It is risky to start a business. Entrepreneurship is not a day's game. All right, so before you start, it is always good to count your costs. Okay, so now what we are trying to do is just pick one of the business use cases because in data engineering is very necessary in almost the entire, in short, in every kind of businesses. All right, now let's look at this business, which is an e-commerce company. The company is, let's say, XYZ company. All right, now the company is coming on board. They want to start their e-commerce stores. So the likes of Jumia, and the rest. But we have Jumia, we have Alibaba, we have we have a couple of them, Konga and the rest, say from this axis that are already there. But we can't say that these businesses not pass through their hard times to get to this point. It will be somehow more like it will be somehow challenging. It will be somehow not okay for a business to go through the same processes that other business had gone through before realizing how to stand, right? So one of the business intelligence use cases is for this business to establish based on the experiences of others, and that is how they can grow very fast. Okay, so because this is not a business class, I want to skip the processes of establishing the business based on people's shoulders. All right, but now this company has realized that for them to really be successful, they will need to understand the businesses of their competitors. Okay, they will need to understand the businesses of their competitors so that they can know how they can become prominent even from day one, because a lot of businesses start making a lot of losses from when they start. But is it possible to start making profits from when you start? Yes, it is very possible. And this is where data comes in. If you can leverage on existing data and read the insights from the data, then you would know that it is possible to start a business and explode into success, because you would have seen the hiccups, you would have seen the issues that pertains to that business, and you know how to move further from there instead of repeating the same issues that other companies or competitors had. All right, now, so this is the reality, the truth, the wisdom that this company has realized, that, oh, for us to really excel, we will need to leverage on existing data. Okay, now, in essence, this is what I've been saying, that in business landscape, startups really need an advantage to thrive and succeed. Okay, so the crucial aspect is that they need to identify the right products. That is what is happening for this startup. So for this startup to succeed, all right, the first thing they will need to do is to identify the right products, because an e-commerce company would obviously we want to invest in a lot of products so that the masses can have access to them and be able to buy from them. But this company has realized that there are certain products that might kill them. It might look nice or interesting, but it might not be okay for them. People may not buy from them, and those products may probably stay back and expire, or some other things could happen. Okay, when you hear the likes of Black Friday and all those things in some of these e-commerce businesses, it's somehow, most of them are somehow a way for them to just let go of the products that has probably stayed for too long in their warehouses. Okay, now this company does not have so much funds to play around with, so they need to get the right product to sell to the people. Okay, so because they really want to start making profits even at the early stages of their business. So this case study explores how e-commerce startup can utilize data engineering process. Okay, so we are going to utilize data engineering techniques, and the technique we would use is, first of all, to get this data to their decks. Now, somebody would probably say, then why do you need a data engineer where we have the likes of data analysts, right? You are not far from being wrong, but now this is the caveat. Okay, the data analyst, what he does is to bring out insights on data, because I know a lot of you would have these questions in mind, like, what is the difference between a data analyst and a data engineer? Now, here is the answer. Okay, using this case study, the data analyst's duty is to bring out insights from data. All right, that is cool, that is interesting. I respect data analysis a lot, okay, because I started from being a data analyst into being data engineer, so it has a lot of commitment and responsibility in the field of business. Okay, so let me give you the distinction, especially in this use case. Okay, now this company needs data. The challenge is that the only way they could probably think of getting this data is by asking Jumia, asking Konga to give them their reports, their records of products that people buy, the more and the rest. It is impossible for these companies to give you their records. How will I take my records and give a competitor so that he can study and learn how to exceed or compete with me? It's not possible. It's not realistic in any way. It's not even logical. Okay, now let's look at this way. The challenge now is that what the data analyst needs is the data, all right, so that he can run his analysis. But it is quite hectic for people to get the data and to get the right data. That is how data engineers come in. Data engineers are the ones that find ways to get the data. They don't just get the data, they work on the data to have its quality and integrity, so that when analysis are being run on that data, it's going to come out in a truthful manner. All right. So that is where data engineers come in here. So now this e-commerce company has now met us, the data engineers, and they are saying, hello, please, I need data so that my business can thrive. And as a data engineer, we ask, what kind of business are you doing? What kind of information do you need? And the company tells us, who are your competitors? Okay, he explains, we have Jumia, we have Konga, we have Ishot. I want to even go beyond the world. I want to go beyond the country. I want to go beyond the continent, Africa. I want to go to other places. We have Alibaba, there's AliExpress and all those stuff. Say, oh, okay, cool. Calm down, slow down. All right. So now this is what we are going to do. Okay. So we say, okay, your challenge is this. You are trying to maximize sales by understanding which product will likely be high in demand, isn't it? He said, yes. Okay. So the challenge here also is that without historical data, sales data, it is impossible for you to bring out an innovative approach, isn't it? He said, yes. Okay, cool. So now what we need is to get a kind of data that replicates history. All right. And we say, okay, to address this challenge, we are going to bring up a technique called web scraping. Now, what is web scraping? You will see it in essence, you will see it in play very, very soon. All right. So just the fingers. Now, web scraping is an act of going into a website, all right, and then extracting the information of that website, working on that information and converting it into a data or a table of relatable, understandable data so that you can work on. Okay, now let me break it down again. For websites, everything in this world generates data. So website is not excluded. Website is one of the major places that generates data. Now, a data engineer is trained. In short, this is one of the basic trainings of a data engineer. So a data engineer is trained to understand the structure of websites, the complexity of that structure, and with the tools to step into that website and extract relevant information that is necessary to use as a data set. All right. So when we say data set is just like, say, a group of data. I will just, in a very layman term, okay, it's like a group of data. So I want to capture as much data as possible and put them together. That's the data set. So we have now realized that since this is an e-commerce, which means electronic, online, commercial stores, so it makes it even easier for us. We are going to move into the website and we are going to extract as much information that is needed, but we are also going to extract the relevant information that is going to be needed for your purpose. How we are going to do it? Don't worry, just pay us, okay? And we are going to implement it. And here is the implementation. So we will do a data collection and then we do a data cleaning. I don't want to go into a lot of these because the practicals are coming up very soon. We'll do some level of data analysis. Now, this is another interesting part. A data engineer is to an extent a data analyst, okay? Because you will need to understand what it is to analyze the data for you to be able to present what is necessary for that data to be fit for analysis, okay? So a data engineer also learns some form of analysis, okay? Then we go into all these and we'll come back to all these results and the case study and the conclusion, all right? So this is trying to see how we could make this happen. So this is your Jumia website, okay? So I will just open it here and this is Jumia website, one of the competitors. So we want to see how all these beautiful things, all right, can become a source of information for a new company to start and become successful. Are you ready to see that? Are we ready to see that? Can I say yes, a why, or whatever
Yes,
comes up.
yes.
Okay. Yeah, because I'm gingered right now. All right. So Chimereka is one of our students, and it would be nice for us to use, our products to explain to you what we could do. So we will do this together. All right. Chimereka, are you on board?
Yes, I am.
Okay. Probably you could share your screen and let's see how to make this happen. Okay. So I will stop sharing now and then are you ready? Are you ready? Okay. Because
Yes,
we
yes,
are
I
we
am.
are hot. So drop it hot now. Okay. All right. So let's see Chimerica. All right, guys, just hold on.
Share my screen. Okay, let me share entire screen. Thank you.
Okay.
Okay. You can see my screen now, right?
Yes, your screen is. Yeah, I think I can. I think we can. Your screen is up. Yeah, we can see your screen.
Okay. So can I shoot?
Please hunt us. Yes, you can shoot. Go ahead.
All right. So good evening, everyone. My name is Solomon Chikwenzo, and I think I finished from. I think I was part of the first cohort for data engineering with analytics when we started around January 21st. Yeah, and the program lasted for 3 months. Currently, we are on our internship, 1 month internship program. Right. So I'm going to share with you some of the skills that I learned while on the data engineering program with analytics. Like Brian rightly mentioned, one of the things you do as a data engineer is data extraction from different sources, right? Data is being stored in different places. It could be data that is in a database, in a flat file, in a log file, in an API, right? In a website. So as a data engineer, you need to learn about all these different sources of data and how to extract data from them. So I'm going to show you how to extract from one of those sources, which is from a website. And it's actually called web scraping. So there are different tools you can use to script a website. Basically, web scraping is getting getting data that you need from a website or from a data source, right? Data could be messy, right? It is okay. Let me show you. Let me show you the Jumia website. Just a second. Okay, this is it. So this is Jumia website. We have all these things in there, all these products in there. Like this is a CCTV camera. This is a phone. This is in fact, different products you have here. Now we want to the idea of the project is we want to extract different items from Jumia websites, right? So we can see what people usually buy the most, right? So it will help us to make informed decisions, right? So that's the idea of the project. Now, for us to start off with that, I'm going to take you back to.
Sorry, Solomon. Please, could you just
Okay.
hold a little?
Okay.
Someone is saying that they can't see your screen, but I want to confirm. Are people seeing his screen? Because I can see his screen from here. If you are seeing the
Yes.
screen, please indicate with a Y. Okay. Okay. Oh, all right. All right. So I guess it might be from your end, Jackson. Maybe you should restart or something. All right, because we can see his screen. Oh, okay. Great. Thank you, everyone. Solomon, please go ahead. Thank you.
All right. So this is my editor I'm going to use to write my script that would extract data from Jumia website and load it into a database. In our case, I'm using PostgreSQL, that's admin 4. Okay, now to get into the script proper, now let's ignore this first part here. We'll come back to this part here. So the idea is we want to get our data, right? Now we have our website. As you can see, I actually put everything in a function. It's quite easier, so you can run your code easily. Now the first function is getting the page, right? So we want to get the page. Now this is the Jumia website. Look at the Jumia website. One thing you need to understand if you're scraping a website, there is always a pattern. You need to understand what that pattern is, right? You need to examine the website, then understand the pattern, how the website is built, to understand the pattern, right? So if we look at the Jumia website here, you can see that I'm on page 50, right? I'm on page 50. And if you look at my address bar, you can see page equal to 50, right? So it's either I go back here and start going back to page 1, or I can easily just do 1 here and enter, right? Then go back, you see that it has taken me back to page 1. So this means that if I want to go to the next page, all I need to do is to increment the page number. But just add 1 to it. So the next one will be page 2, next one will be 3, take me to page 3. So what we want to do here is on page 1, we want to get all this information. Things that we can get from here are things like, so I can see the product name here, de facto 2 pieces, baby boy, short sleeve, then Quasar quality 12-inch rechargeable fan. These are the product name. You can also see the price. This is 2,915. This is 27,000, this is 17,000, right? You can also see, okay, this is the old price. This is the old price. This is the discounts. You can get all this from here. Now, some of them, they have ratings. This doesn't have ratings, but this has a rating, right? So you can see the rating here. You can see how many people actually gave that rating, that are verified rating, right? Some has, some doesn't, right? But for those ones that actually have ratings, we want to also get that information, right? So these are the things we can get from this front here. We can get the name of the product, the amount or the price, the old price, the discounts. You can also see the rating, you can see the review and the number of people that actually gave that review, which is a verified review, right? So let's go into our code now to see how we can get all this data from this Jumia web page. All right. Now, like I mentioned before, so most of the things you will do when you are doing web scraping at the start, when you want to get the documents, right? It's mostly repetitive. It's something that you do for almost all the websites, if not all the websites, in fact, right? Except, okay, let me not go deep.
I'm sorry. Let me come again. Let me come in again.
Okay.
Sorry to interrupt. So Solomon, because I'm trying to do intermediary for 5 people. Okay, so what people are saying is that the font size is kind of small, so it's not easy for them to see. So if you could zoom, okay, then I think it would be yeah. I think this is great. This is awesome. Yeah. Okay. So people in the chats, my community people. Is this okay? Is the font okay now? Okay.
Yes, thank you. Yes,
All right.
thank you.
All right. You're welcome. Please
Very
go ahead,
well done.
Solomon. Sorry for cutting in.
No problem. So now let's get into the code. Now so this is the website. So you need to get the website you want to scrape, right? Now on the Jumia website, we want to scrape all products where you have all the products. That is what we want to scrape, right? So to do that, remember I told you about it has. I don't want to scrape just the first page. I think Jumia stores data from 1 to up to 50 pages, right? From 1 to 50 pages. When you get to like 51 page, you won't see anything there anymore, right? So the reason why we have just 1 to 50 page here. So to start scraping the website, now this is our base URL. So when I say base URL, I mean the URL of Jumia where you have all the products without the pages. If you remember, if you look at the pattern of the web address, right? If you look at the pattern, you can see after the all products, you get there's a question mark there. Then there's page, there's equal to, then there's one. Now the only thing that changes when you move from one page to the other is just the number here, which is one. You are going to the page two. This changes to two. So we need in our code, we need to make the number here dynamic, something that can change. While the other things here just be static, doesn't change, right? So this is how we cater for that in the code. So I said that's the reason why I have just that part that doesn't change. I have it here as the base URL. I have it here as the base URL, right? So I'm not saying that for page in range 1 to 51. So for those that are, if you've done something in Python before, right? What range 1 to 51 means is I want to get the numbers from 1 to 50. That's 51 exclusive. 51 is not inclusive. Whatever number I put here is not inclusive. That is why I said from 1 to 51. So 1 to 51 will give me all the numbers from 1 to 50. That is what it means, right? So I'm not saying that for page number in 1 to 50. So what this will do, if I say I want to print, for instance, I want to print the page number, it will give me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to 50. So which means for the first one, page number is equal to 1. After it has finished page number is equals to 1, it will come back again and say, okay, when page number is equal to 2, it will come back again and say when page number is equals to 3. When it gets to when page number is equals to 50, it will run. If it now gets to when page number is equals to 51, it will look at it, our range, there is no 51 in our range, so it's not going to do anything anymore. That is where the code will stop. That is the idea behind this, right? Now, this here is the F string is just like a magic word, right? So it helps us to get the value, what's the value that we put in here. So base URL, remember our base URL is equals to this, right? So what this is doing is instead of seeing base URL, you are going to see this address here or this variable here. That is what we are going to see. Then this question mark will come next. Question mark will come next. Then the page equal to then page number. Remember what our page number is. In this case, now our page number in the first run, our page number will be 1 in the first run. So this place where we have this curly brackets will just be equal to 1. So we don't have the base URL question mark page equal to 1. That is what we're going to have here, right? Now, next thing we are going to do is we've gotten the URL, which is now the first page, the URL for the first page, which is this, right? Now we want to do something where we can fetch the contents of what is in that URL. We want to fetch content of what is in that URL. And there is this library called requests that we can use to fetch things from the internet, right? So we use requests. There are different things you can actually use to get data, but for this, I actually use requests. So I said request.get, then I gave it the argument URL, because this is what I want to get, the website I want to get. So I gave it the address, the URL. Now it's good practice when you are fetching things from the internet. You check if it's successful, if it actually retrieved data, right? So if you've done stuff with APIs before, if you've done stuff with API, you will see, or maybe you might have been browsing. Sometimes you see when you go to some website, you see 404, meaning that web page is not found, right? So when you make a request to a website, there is always a response you get back, right? So for us to know that, because if we don't do this, at times you might get an error in your code that you don't know why you're getting that error, right? So the reason why I now said, okay, if I make that request to that website, if the response I get, if the status of that response, if it is not 200, because when it is 200, it means it is okay. I got the data successfully. When it is 200, it means it's okay. If I get anything aside 200, like from 300, 400, 404, 5 or something, it means there's an issue. So what I'm looking out for is to get a response that has a status code of 200. So to make sure that there is no issue when I'm doing my request, I now put this line of code here to say, if the response I get, if the response code, if the status code for that response, if it is not 200, please print out this for me. So it's going to print out the URL. So I'm saying that print out the URL, return an error. Then it will give me the status code. Maybe it's 404, it's 400, it's 302. It will give me that code here. So I will know exactly what the issue is. But if it returns a status code of 200, meaning that the what's it called? The response is okay. It actually fed the data that I want, right? Then Anna said it should continue in this other line of code. It should ignore this line of code and continue with this line of code down here. Now, the next thing we now want to do is to say it has retrieved the information from the website, and it puts it inside this variable called response. Puts it inside the variable called response. So I now want to see the contents of what that response has. Response, for instance, you can see that response has one method called status code, which will tell you if it's okay or not. It has another one called .text. The .text is used to show the contents of that web page that you've extracted, all the content, all the HTML content of that web page. If you look at this, this is what it will show you. So if you look at this web page, this is the HTML code. When you do, let me close this for a bit. So if you want to see the content of the web page, you can go to right-click on that browser, on your browser or on that web page, then go to inspect. Go to inspect. It's going to show you the HTML code, the source code, right? This is the HTML code, how this website was built. Everything you can see here, this is the code for it, right? So this is what that request, that response.get, that response.text would give us. The response.text here, where is it? Yeah, this. So this is what it fetched, right? And we now put it inside this variable called page content. We put it inside this variable called page content. So page content right now is it's holding our page information, all the HTML source code is in here, right? Now, the next thing we want to do is, now we want to start extracting, because we know that all the information that we want is now inside this page content. So we want to start extracting all those information. Let me show you something. For instance, I want to see, if I want to see this price here, 2,915, I can go to this pointer here and just point on the amount. Then click on it. It will take you to the HTML code where you have that amount. You can see here, this is 2,915, right? So everything we can see here, even the pictures, everything we see here, they are inside this code. So we want to extract basic information, the things that we need. Right now, it's messy. We are not seeing clearly. If we are looking at the code, we are not seeing the things that we need clearly. So we want to extract them and put them in, say, an Excel file or into our database, so that we can actually see the data that we want to see, right? Basically, that is just what web scraping is. Now, let's see how we would manage that. Now, there is a library. There's a library we are going to use to extract all the data, all the information we want from the site, right? And it's called Beautiful Soup, right? And it's called Beautiful Soup. Don't get confused. Don't think it's the name. This name, Beautiful Soup, is going to be really difficult. No, it's not. It's quite easy, right? So all you need to do, you just need to install Beautiful Soup library. Then if you finish importing it, then you can import it, right? You say from BS4, then we import the Beautiful Soup. For me, I'm importing it under the alias of BS. So instead of me to keep writing Beautiful Soup, which is a bit long, so I just want to type BS. So I'm using this alias called BS. So whenever I want to import, whenever I want to make reference to Beautiful Soup, I will use BS instead of typing all these things here. So let's continue. Now, remember, this is our page contents. I said page contents is now holding all our HTML code is inside page contents now, right? But we need something that would help us to extract those information that we want from page content or from the HTML code. Reason why we introduced Beautiful Soup. And how do we use Beautiful Soup? All you need to do, Beautiful Soup takes at least two important arguments. One, you have to give it the HTML content or the HTML code that you want to use for your scraping. So in our case, it is what? Our page content. In our case, it is our page content. Now, we are now giving it a parser. This parser is something that helps it read the contents. Something that helps Beautiful Soup. How do we want to read the page contents? At times, there are different kind of parsers, right? But we are using HTML content, HTML parser. There are some websites that are not strictly HTML codes. They are like XML, right? So for those ones, we probably use a different kind of parser. But in this case here, our web content is a HTML code, so we are using an HTML parser. And this is how you use Beautiful Soup to actually parse your web documents. So after we parsed the documents, right, we'll now put it inside a variable called doc. You can actually give a variable name, you can actually give it anything you want. Reason why it's a variable name, but you ensure you don't give it something that is already a reserved word, in Python, right? So we gave it this name called doc, right? So we now have doc. So with doc is now a Beautiful Soup object. We can now, because Beautiful Soup has different things you can use it has different methods you can use to extract data from it, right? So our doc now is now a Beautiful Soup document or object rather, right? Now, the next thing we want to do now is to say, okay, we want to now use the doc to find all. Okay, before I continue, let me show you what a tag is. Because the way you use Beautiful Soup, so I want to find, in this case, I want to find all the tag that starts with all the article tags. What this is saying that in our Beautiful Soup documents, find all the tag that has what article, or all the article tags. Now, if you go to our web page, now this is the HTML code, right? Remember, we already have this. All this is what we have inside our doc. Everything here is what we have inside our doc, right? Now, if you look at this is what you call a tag. Article here is what you call a tag. After the less than sign, the next thing is a tag, right? Why these guys here are the attributes of that tag, right? In this case now, look at A here. This is an A tag. A tag has an attribute, href, which is the link. There's another attribute here, data name, right? But what we're interested in right now is just the tag. So we want to get all the article tag. Now, why do we want to get all the article tag? Look at this. Remember what we want to scrape is, for instance, we want to scrape, look at the first product here. Let me use the pointer. Look at the first product. You can see this. When I put my pointer on article, you can see the color we have here in the product is on a particular product. You can see it is on a particular product. Everything we need for this product is inside this article. That is why you see on right now, look at the Kwasa product there. The item called Kwasa is colored because I'm pointing on article, this particular article that has all the information that we want from Kwasa. If I look at the next article, it has moved to the next one there. If I go down again, it has moved to Malta Guinness. If I go down, it will move to the blender. So you can see that the article tag holds information for each of our products. So the reason why we want to find all the article tags in our code. So that's the reason why we are looking for all the article tags, right? So what this line of code is saying in our documents, which contains all the HTML code, find all the article tags. But the problem now is if we leave it at that, we are not being specific, because there might be other elements in the web page that has article tags as well. That is not what we want, right? So to make sure that we are getting the exact article tag, we are getting article tags that are product names, right? To make sure we are getting article tags that are product names, we want to use something else in that article tag to identify this. Now, if you look at this article here, now there is a class called prod_fb_ this. If you look at all the products, they will have this class. Look at all the products. They have this class. Look at this product, the same class. This product, the same class, which means that all the products on the web page, right, they have an article tag and also a class name of prod_fb::c prod. All of them, they must have this. Any other article tag that we have on the web page, right, that doesn't have this class, then is not a product name. It's not what we are looking for, right? So you have to understand the structure of your website or the website you want to scrape before you can start scraping it. So you can see how we are going about getting to know the structure of the website. We've seen where what we want to scrape is, how it is structured, that they are in the article tag, and they have a unique class called PROT. And okay, just this unique class here. So with that information now, next thing I want to do is to say, give me all that products. Give me all that products with all the article tags with this class here. Then call it products. So it will now give it the title of the variable name called products. Remember, it's not just one because we used find all. There is another one just called, there's another method called find. Find will give you the first product, just one. Find will give you the first product called the first product there. That's what find will give you. But we don't want just one product. We want all the products. The reason why we are using the method find all. So it's going to give us all the products. So we now put it inside products. Now, the next thing we want to now do is to say, now, for each, we are not going to loop over each of the products, right? We are going to loop over each of the products. That's one powerful thing about programming. So it's really good at doing iterations, right? So you want the system to, or your script to get all the information for this first product. When it's done, move to the next one. Get all the information about this guy. When you're done, move to this next one till you get to the end. That's the basic, that's the idea, right? Now let's see how to do that on the script. Now, if you look at this, and I said to do iterations, you use the for loop, right? You just say for products in products. You can actually give it any name you want. I can try to say for X in products, for item in products. Anyone, it works. As long as always remember the rule of thumb, it mustn't be a reserved word, right? It could be anything, but not a reserved word. Now, and I said for products in products, right? We'll now start scraping for. So this guy is going to pick the first product, which is this here, He's going to pick, okay, this guy here. He's going to pick the first one and get all the data we want to get from it before it will move to the next one. Now, let's get the data from this guy here. Let's get the data from this guy here. Now say, remember, product is what? Just the first, product is just the first item, right? So I now say for that first item, find, see now, I'm not using find all, right? I'm not using find all. I'm not using find. I just want to find. Now, what do I want to get? I want to get, let's say, the name first. Now, let's see the structure. What did they use to name, give that name? What did they use? Under which tag can we find this name, right? That's the next thing we want to check now. Now, let's go back to this pointer here. Now, I'll use the pointer, click here, then take me to the code where that thing is. This is it here on the code. You see, if I move out from this H3, go somewhere else, the color on my products will move somewhere else to reference the particular place I'm pointing to, right? If I go up, it has moved. So where that name is on H3. You can see here, de facto 2 pieces, baby boy, short sleeve t-shirts, which is actually the name of what we have here, right? So it means that this H3 tag is holding the name of this product. So for the next product, let's say, for the next product is also going to be the same H3 tag because that is the structure of the website. Look at the next one here. Look at it. It's the H3 tag, right? If I look at the next one again, click. is also the history tag. And they will also have the same class name, because we don't want to say just history tag, give us the elements that has history. No, there probably might be other elements on the page that has a history tag that is not this guy. But for us to be specific, to make sure it's actually pointing to this guy here, we want to select also the class name. At times, for some websites, it might have the ID of that tag. If you have the ID of that tag, it's even better, because ID will always be unique to that particular thing, right? So in this case, we are using the class. So if you look at this class name is name. Now, if I look at this other one here, you find out that the class name is also name. Let's see. Look at it. It's name. If I go to Quasar, if I go to the next one, I go to the next one, look at it again. History tag, and the class name is also name. So with this now, we've gotten the structure of how the class name, how we can extract the class, how we can extract the name of the product. We've gotten the pattern, how we can extract the name of the product. So what we are going to look for is a tag, a history tag that has a class name of name. That is what we are going to look for. So in our code, that's what we now have in our code. You said the products, remember the product is for one product. We want to find a history tag that has a class name of name. Now, if you look at class, I didn't just say class. There is an underscore behind it, after it. The reason why we have this underscore here is because class is a reserved word in Python. Class is already a reserved word in Python. So to distinguish this class from the reserved word that we have in Python, reason why there is the underscore here, right? So we now have this. So this will give us the name of the product, right? But at times it's good to always, when you're writing your code, you make sure you always put some validation, some checks when you are writing your code. I can decide to say, okay, this will give me my product name. Now, this is actually a beautiful soup object. This is an element. This item name here now is an element. If I want to get the name of this element, what is inside us, if I want to get this name, rechargeable table fan with LED lights, I just need to give it that element. I need to give it the dot text, the same way we did for response, which is an object. So you need to give it the dot text to get the content of what is inside. So if I want to get the content of what is inside this item that we extracted, I just give it dot text. But before I did that, I said, okay, if the item name is not none. So the reason why I'm doing this is because there are times when each of maybe the products doesn't have a name, for instance. If the product doesn't have a name and you didn't put a check, what would happen if the product doesn't have a name? If your script is running, it gets to that place where the product doesn't have a name. It encounters a product that doesn't have a name. It just throw an error, and your script will fail, or to stop running, and it will throw an error, right? So we don't want to always encounter this kind of errors. So the reason why when you're writing your code, you need to think of places where you can actually get an error, or where your code would actually fail, and you try to catch whatever error that might come out from there, right? So in this case now, how we handle that is to say, if that product name is not empty, right? If it's not empty, that means if there is actually a name for that product, then give me the contents, which is this product, the element now dot text, which is give me the content. Now that content, I now put it inside my that same variable called product name. I don't want to give it a different name. I still give it that variable called item name rather. Right? You can still decide to call it any name you want, but I still give it that same name. Now, but in a scenario where it's empty, the item name, there is no item name, I'm saying give it blank. Just leave it empty. Right? So I have captured this. And even I didn't do this. If I'm running this code, you see, for these other guys here that we have here, these other guys that we have here, where in this case, in this place, we have the rating, right? But here we don't have rating. If you didn't put this kind of check that I put there, when it's running this code, it gets to this place, it didn't see a rating, it will throw an error and your script will stop. So most times when you're writing your code, you might not know all the possible likely errors that your script you throw, except they happen. You now write the code or write something that will mitigate it or that will handle that error. You might not know everything, but while you are writing your script, most times it comes to you that, oh, okay, let me try to handle an error here in case there is no name for this guy here. Let me try to do something that would solve that or handle that error that will come up from there, right? So that is actually what we did here. So for the next one, so we've extracted the item name. So the next thing we want to extract now is the price. Now we'll now go back to our code to say, okay, let's look at the structure, the pattern. How did they get the price name? Let's look at the pattern. We'll now go back to the pointer here, point it at the price, click. Now if you take it to where the price is on the code, you can see that the price is here. Okay, let me increase the font size. I think it's a bit better now. So the price is here. You can see the price has a div tag. This is a div tag, right? This is a div tag, and it has a class of PRC. You can see the price there, 2,915, right? Let's look at another one. If it's the same thing, right? So you can see it also on the div tag, and it has a class of PRC, the same as the first. This is the price of 27,000. The same thing that we have here. Now let's look at the third one as well to make sure that we're on the right track. Now this is the third one. It also has a div tag and a class of PRC and a price of 17,000, right? So it means that for our price, for us to extract our price, the price is in a div tag with a class of PRC. So we are going to use that in our code. Remember, this is a product, right? We are still working on the first product. Remember, we've not gone to the next product. We're working on the first product. So everything we are doing here is on the first product. Remember, we said for products in products. So all this code now is extracting things for the first product, right? So the next one is price. Look at our price. So we are saying, where is it? Okay, this is price. So we are saying for that product dot, we want to find a div tag with a class of PRC. Now we repeat the same thing. We repeat the same thing that we did up here, right? Repeat the same thing. But in this case, it's a bit different. It's a bit different because if you look at our price has Naira sign, right? Our price has Naira sign. And we don't want this Naira sign when we are exporting our data. Reason being that this Naira sign here would make the value or the data type of this value to be object, that's a string, right? To make it so we can't really do aggregation. We can't add, we can't subtract, we can't check the maximum aggregations. We can't do aggregations with strings, right? But we want to be able to do aggregation. We want to be able to say, okay, this is the price, this is the product with the highest price. So to do that, for us to be able to do that, we need this value here to be an integer or a float, like a number, and not a string. We need it to be a number. So to do that, that's why we have that's the point where you do your data cleaning anyways. But I actually just did everything here. So we basically, what I'm saying here is I want to strip the data. So what strip does is, if there's any white space, because when you are extracting your data, as you are doing all these things, you are printing out what you've extracted to actually see what the data you've extracted looks like, then to know if there's anything else that you need to do on it. So while
Yeah.
I'm doing this, I found out that
Hello. Yeah, sorry. Solomon,
yeah, I can hear you.
hear me? Yes. I'm very, very sorry. Okay, I'm sorry because I know that you are really flowing very, very strongly. So I'm feeling that we if care is not taken, we are probably going to have a system overload. All right. So
Okay.
now we have understood a lot. I believe that we have seen a lot of things. Some persons who are into tech are learning one or two, are understanding some things. Some people who are not into tech are seeing a lot of things as well. Okay, so now I would want us to see if we could in any way. Let me. So I would want us if we could in any way. Like kind of get into let's keep this process for the meantime. You understand? Let's keep this process
Okay.
and let
Okay.
us, because by now you would have probably, so I believe everyone understands what's going on here right now. Now we are trying to script these things, so these are processes. So he has done a very nice job, and it's not easy for a technical person to explain these things in such a very moderate level. Okay, bringing it down and trying to avoid a lot of technical jargons, it's not easy, because you've already started hearing things like variables, you've already started hearing things like modules, you've already started hearing things like packages. Okay, so these things are things that it's like a norm, it's already your system when you pass through a good training. So now, Solomon. So
Yeah.
now they are seeing these things happening at the back end. Okay, so I believe that you have successfully scraped the data, right? So it is somewhere.
Yeah.
You deposited it somewhere.
Yeah.
Cool, nice. So
Yeah.
I would like us to go into that location where you have put in this data, so that we can now see what all these things are resulting into.
Oh, okay. Okay,
Yeah.
cool. So I actually stored the data in my Postgres database, right? So I'm going to
Okay.
open that up here. I'm going to open that up here. So this is my Postgres database. So this is the data.
Okay.
You can see all the item names. These are all the item
Yeah.
names.
Could you like the left pane, could you just drag it, let it be, to thin it out so that there will be space to see almost all the
Okay.
columns? Like yeah. Oh, okay. Awesome. Okay. Yeah. It's okay that way, I think. Yeah.
So
Thank you.
so these
So
are these are
you are saying now that, let me sorry, I'm feeling like I'm even learning. So I'm trying to put myself in the shoes of the learners. Okay. So now you're saying that this is the table of the data. Let's see the table. So what do we have there? We have unisex, anti-blue light, protective computer screen. So it's more like it's more like all the items that we saw on the portal, in the
yeah
Jumia web page. Now they have been humbled. They've been humbled into words, right?
yeah
They've been humbled into words. So that means this. I remember you talking about extracting the item name. This was like when you were talking about the H3 tag, right? This
yes, this is the
item
item
name.
name. Yes,
Cool.
yes.
Then this is the price. So that means at this point you have removed that Naira symbol, right?
Yes.
Oh, you even scraped out the old price so that we can see, and you place in the
Yeah,
discount. That's
yeah,
beautiful. That's beautiful. So now we have the old price, we have the new price, and we even have the discounts. then you also brought out the ratings, right? And you brought
Yeah.
out the when you say verified rating, you're talking about like the number of people that rated, right?
Yes.
More like
Yes.
reviews. Oh,
Yes.
okay, awesome, awesome. So that means that how many records do we have here now? How many records have you succeeded in scraping?
That's 2,000 because there are 50 pages and each page contains I think 40.
Okay, no, the thing is, I would like us, I would like us to, yes. So that's so now let's just pause so that I could explain to the people. So it won't be like
Okay.
we are jumping guns. So now, people of data, what we are trying to do now is to flog this data to bring out information. So we are flogging it to confess. So the first thing we want to do now is we have this data. The data engineer, you can see what the data engineer had to do to make this data available. As this data is available now, this is the point where a data analyst can now come in to start working. All right. So we have done a lot of cleaning, a lot of transformation, the scraping, and we can make it automated. This is more like creating a robot that goes into Jumia website and removes or extracts information. And then it does this. So at this point, company XYZ has successfully gotten the data that they cannot get if they went to Jumia company and say, Alpha, you know that you're my brother. Please give me your sales report so that I can use it to analyze if so to know what I'm going to do to sell better. So now, Jumia is not going to give them. So, but because it is to an extent, to a level, we can make use of this web scraping technique. So, a data engineer has recommended, let's go and scrape the website. We are going to get a lot of information about the people that visit the website, the things that they probably buy and review and all those things, right? So now the first thing we want to do is you want to ask, now, how much of data do we have? Like how many items do we have in this particular database? Okay, so let's assume that we want to do this because remember I said a data engineer would also have an analytical skill set. So you are more like a combo of a part of data analyst and a software engineer combined together. Okay, so let us review the analytical part of a data engineer. So now, Solomon, you are a data engineer. I am representing XYZ company. So I will ask you certain questions. You're right. So you would kind of try to help me out here. The first thing is, please, could you show us the number of items that you have successfully extracted from the Jumia website?
Oh, okay. So we can see here from this query, this SQL query. So SQL is the language that is used to query your database to get information from your database. So I'm going to use
that means
select
we've
statements.
moved from Python now to SQL.
Yeah,
So
SQL.
okay, so I understand. So because Python is the language that we use to probably interact with the website to scrape, is the programming language. While SQL is not a programming language, all right. In reality, it's not a programming language, it's a query language. So SQL is a language for databases, all right. So if you want to be very good in relating or communicating with databases, then you need to understand their language. And so this is the language. So okay, please go ahead. You were trying to explain what you're doing.
Okay. So I said I want to select all, count all, everything. This asterisk says it's called all. So I want to count all from Jumia product. Jumia product is the name of my table. If you look at this place here, this is the name of my table.
Yeah.
So where I have everything. So I want to say, I said select, then count all from Jumia table. So it's going to count everything that I have there. So when I run this query, it's going to give me the counts, which is 2,000. So we have 2,000 rows in the data set on that table. 2,000 items.
Oh, okay. Okay, okay. All right. Thank you very much. So somebody is asking an interesting question. Somebody is asking an interesting question. You're saying that in the field of web development, is there no cybersecurity technique? Oh, okay. Is there no cybersecurity technique that could prevent web scraping? Oh, of course, there are. There are a plethora of them. However, there are some websites that kind of allows you to do that. Okay. Aside that, there are some website that sells what we call. Sorry, Solomon. So let's just give a break so that I could just
Yeah,
clear
yeah.
the air here. Yeah. So there are some websites that provide, even Jumia. They have like an, they call it an API. So it's more like application programming interface. Okay. So it's more like a code or an item that you could use in your code, or that makes Jumia know that you want to get information from them, and Jumia will approve you to get that information, right? So that is why there are some intricacies, there are some parts of the code that we didn't really bring out like that. There's a way that you go to scrape websites, and the next time you try to scrape, you are blocked. Okay, you are blocked because there are different processes. So what we did here was to go as if we were a user. Okay, you see, sometimes when you see some people, all those websites that you see something like yeah, when you see something like captcha, I'm sure a lot of you have seen that, right? You see something like captcha where they are telling you select the buses, select the bridges, select the trees. Hope I'm not talking to myself. Like, do you have people that can relate with what I'm saying? There are
Yes,
some
yes.
websites. Aha. So now,
Yeah.
cool. Now, those are security measures to make sure that it is not a robot that is coming to get information. Because a robot, you know that those things are randomly created. You understand? So if a robot is programmed to know where the buses are in the picture, the next time that buses comes up, the robot would pick the wrong choice. That's what it means. And so the system will know that this person is not a human being. All right. And so you will not give you to not grant you access. So you see those capture you're seeing are part of cybersecurity modules. Okay. So they are security measures. It's just that there are some sites that to them they allow people to get those information. So many of these e-commerce sites don't really put so much issues on that. The like maybe some news portals as well and the rest. But even the ones that probably put issues, they create like an account for you to register. Probably you are going to pay some amount of money so that you can have access to those records. Okay, so there are different ways to get records. We are just using this as one of the basic techniques of getting records. All right, I believe I should have answered your question. So please, let's just go ahead and we don't worry. We are trying to make it as humanly possible. Okay, as human, as humane, as much as so that it could be understood by even those that are coming into the scene or that are just interested to be a data person. Okay, because what we offer is not just to the technically inclined, but to every stage of technical prowess. Okay, so whether you are at the zero level or at the highest level, we can accommodate you. So now you were trying to say something, Solomon, right? I think I cut you short
No, no,
somewhere.
no. No, 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 I
Okay,
wasn't.
cool. Okay, so you have successfully showed us that this data this table is a kind of it's um is a combination of the of 2000 items. Okay, is a combination of 2000 items. Can we use JavaScript with SQL to learn this, or one have to learn Python programming? Sure, you can use JavaScript. You can use JavaScript. It doesn't have to be Python. It's just that um, Python seems to be like the very easy language to use. Okay, so now what can we also find out? Okay, look at this now. So Complete XYZ has seen that, oh, fine, this is awesome. You have 2000 items from Jumia alone. So that means they could probably use this method for some other outstanding e-commerce websites. So now, because the more data you have, the more accurate your results can be. Okay, so if you ask a question, it gives you more intelligence when the data is much. Now, look at what is happening here. Company XYZ says, so dear engineer, from this data, I want to see the items that have highest prices, that the prices are like the highest from this particular data. So I want to see the items that Jumia sell at very high prices. Could you help me just so I could have a view of that? So Solomon, could you help us with that information? Yeah.
Oh, okay. So there is this query you can use. So I want to see, so I can decide to say, I don't want to show all the information. I just want to show the items.
Okay.
The item name. I want to show the item name and the price.
Okay.
I want to show the item name and the price from Jumia products. Remember, Jumia products is our table. Then I want to order it. I want to order it by price. Right? Then the ordering should be descending. That means the highest will be at the top.
Yeah.
So
okay. So descending means it should start from the highest down to the lowest. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. All right.
So if I do this, if I run the script, the query, I will get this.
Oh,
so
wow.
You can see. Okay, go on.
So that means the highest selling products currently in Jumia is 929,000 naira.
Yes.
And that is an Apple iPhone 14 Pro. Interesting. Okay, so that is nice. So we can see that the next highest selling product is a furniture, right? So exclusive luxury 7-seater and the rest. Cool. That's interesting. All right, so now I am aware of that now. So remember the one of the major reasons why we employed your services from company XYZ is to also find out if you're not seeing his screen, then I think it's from your end, because I can see his screen and I believe many other persons can see his screen, right? Yes, so people are confirming that they can see the screen. Okay, thank you very much. Sorry about that, but I think it's from your end. Okay, thank you very much. Okay, now, you know what? As company XYZ, I want to buy products which I don't have so much money that I don't have so much money that that other people have. Okay, so I want to buy products that I feel would be like the top selling products that these persons will probably have. Okay, so that when I buy these products, I'm sure that there are ready customers in the market that I could just sell and they will come to buy, instead of buying, because there's a possibility that, okay, imagine buying a product of 900,000 plus the iPhone 14, and what if we don't have many buyers? So that means my money is stuck there, right? So could you give me the list of products that, in short, I want like 20 products. Okay, I want 20 products that I could start selling immediately. So the 20 products, this is what I want. I want the products that have that I believe, based on the record, sells most. You understand? So you are going to tell us how to get that product and why you think that those are the products that sell most. Please help us.
Oh, okay. So to go about this, because Data, it doesn't capture much, but the best we can do to get that information right now from the data set that we have is we can say, okay, one way we can look at it is to say, I want to look at the products with really high ratings, and also they have verified number of people that actually
sorry, please, could you come again? You said products with what?
So I want to look at products with really high ratings.
Okay, cool.
And also not just the high ratings, not just the high ratings alone, and also the number of people that rated the products are high.
Oh, interesting.
So we know that at least that will give us an idea of okay, more people are buying these products, and also they are also giving us ratings as well. More people are buying the product. So if we have like a product and we are seeing that the number of people that rated this product are like 5,000, and we have another product, the number of people that rated this product are like 10, we will know that more people are buying the product that are rated like that has rating of 5,000. More people are actually buying that product more, right? So we can use that here to look at the top 20 products with that you can invest in, right? So to do that from our data, we can say, oh, okay, I want to select. I don't want everything. I just want the item name. Item name. I want the item name, and what else do I want? Okay, let me go with the rating.
Yeah, I think we would also want to see the price too. Also want to see the price.
That's true. Let's see the price. Now I want to see the rating, and also want to see the verified rating. Now I want to see these 4 fields from Jumia. Now, if we do this, before then, okay, let's say, let me comment out this part of the code. If we do this, you'll notice this. Okay, we'll have something like this. So you find out that there are new values, right? We find out that there are new values. Okay, before this, let's even move. So we want to say, give us all this, give us this information, but we don't want to see the new values for verified ratings. We don't want to see the new values, right? So I'm not saying give me the information where verified rating is not new, where verified rating is not new. So, and also then order it by verified rating. That's from top to bottom. That's the highest to the smallest. Also order it by the ratings from the top to the lowest, right? Let's run this and see. So I'll have this. So we can see the ordering. We first use ordering we prioritize verified rating, the number of people that actually rated the product. So we have 8,728, right? So then it has a very high rating. It has a high rating of 4.3. Then the next one is this. It has this rating. Next one is this. So we want to get the top 20. So we can use, we can just add the limits of 20 here. We can add the limit of 20 and run this. So it will give us the top 20. So these are the top 20 products that I feel you should invest in, that people are actually buying.
Okay.
Investing.
Could you also add the discounts column? So maybe it's because of discounts too that a lot of persons are.
Okay, let's.
No. You shouldn't have deleted it. As in, with just this information, just add the discounts.
Oh, okay.
I think that is, we could just put it like maybe after Okay, it's all right. Anywhere is okay. All right, so let's see.
So this is
Awesome,
it.
awesome. Okay, so that means that because with this, I could say that 8,728 people. This is just a part of the people that bought it because it's not everybody that buys an item that goes
That
to
will
review
give a review. Yeah.
it, right? So for 8,000 plus people to review this item, that means the number of people that bought the item could be like probably 20% more, isn't it? So
Yeah. Sure.
that means a company XYZ, first of all, I could say that, oh, I want to buy these 20 items. So that means, so you can see that our beautiful iPhone is not there. There is no iPhone among even the first 20 that has this very high purchase. So you can see that we have power bank as the first thing, or Rimo power bank, and there's a particular kind of power bank that is the 27,000 mAh. If you see, I think I saw another power bank somewhere, number 14. There is still another Oraimo power bank. Have you seen that? A 10,000 mAh power bank. So that means we have more people going for, you have more people going for the Oraimo 27,000 mAh. Of course, especially with the life condition that we probably have, people want to buy, if it is possible, to buy a transformer that they can be holding, to charge their items or to power.
Yeah.
So I think that is helping us understand certain things. Okay, so let us see something. What I'm interested in is why power bank of 27,000 is kind of more for people, and we can even see that both of them, they have like discounts, right? The first one is 49% and the second one is 48%. So it doesn't look like it's really the discount that makes them go for that, but obviously it's the need, right? Because it probably, we saw that maybe Oraimo power bank, the first one, has like a very high discount. Okay, look at another interesting thing. Number 4 here, 6 pairs in quality ankle socks. So that means we have a lot of people buying ankle socks from Jumia. Okay, so that's the, and this one, they have like the highest, almost the highest, I think they have the highest in this list. That's 68% in terms of discounts. All right, so they have such a high discount, so it is possible that the discount makes them buy it. So probably they look at it that, and there's a reason why maybe Jumia would want to put a discount on something like this, like an ankle socks, because who goes into Jumia just look for ankle socks? So when there's a malam that is passing by, and when you put on the ankle socks, it does not show malam on the tag. All right. So you could just go to the nearest shop, and ankle socks are everywhere. So there's a possibility that the ankle socks that are available on Jumia are kind of way cheaper, even with their quality. So you can see how very high their discount is. So if I say very high discount for a quality ankle socks, I would definitely wouldn't mind making an order online to have such an item. Because maybe if I go to the shop, the quality of ankle socks I want to buy from this shop is kind of more expensive than what I'm seeing in Jumia. What the heck? I just request for Jumia's ankle socks because they have a very high percentage. So you can now see that all those things we saw on the website are now becoming very interesting and giving us some level of intelligence. So this company XYZ that is about to start this e-commerce website would see all these things, and it would be rare for him to make those mistakes that the likes of Jumia and all those competitors made when they started. So because of these things now, they would probably invest a lot of money in buying Oraimo power bank. The next one is wireless fingerprint touch headsets. So that means it could even tell us that means we have a lot of people also investing in buying headsets. Of course, if we want to even check like up to records, if we want to get like the dates and all those things, you will see that probably before the likes of COVID-19, people were not really buying the headsets, right? But after the COVID-19 period, or from that period, we had a lot of people investing in buying headsets. Why? Because a lot of things started happening online. A lot of tradings would not happen in a physical area. People are now more comfortable. There was a time when you would call for video meetings or online meetings, and you rarely see people. They don't even know how to use the Zoom or how to use the Google. They prefer to pay transport to a certain location. But people adjusted. And now this adjustment is also affecting the market. So you can see that the second highest persons, the second highest products that are being bought based on the rating having is headsets. So people buy headsets. Then if you check the third one, very interesting. Look at the third item. The third item is something related to headset again, which are AirPods. So this online thing is really going crazy. But so people that are not buying headset are probably buying AirPods. You understand? So at least it helps them, obviously it helps them do like double things. To wear this headset and go out on the road, it somehow it's be like I'm showcasing that I have headsets. But with the AirPod, which is just tiny, it's like part of fashion. So I could use it even for my meetings, and I could use it for personal self. So we could look at this, we could look at this data and see reasons why this is true. Of course, there is so much sun in this part of the world. And so number 6 shows us, oh, it's not even just the sun. Now, this is interesting. I didn't even notice this. Number 6 shows us that a lot of people buy protective computer screen glasses. This also shows us the power of our online presence these days, because you can see people are really investing into things that helps them to be steady online. This is a period you're having more remote jobs, more meetings online. Even those that go to offices physically, they still have meetings online and all those things. So some persons could have issues always looking at the screen, because almost everything you have to do on the screen. And so they go and invest in buying computer screen glasses so that it could help them in terms of their eyesight, right? So we are seeing a lot of things. We are really seeing a lot of things that Jumia sells, what people buy the most and the rest, from fashion to, so aside just knowing the items. Now, this case study is just for me as a company to see what I can invest in to start with. All right. So with this now, I can be assured to a certain good percentage that, oh, I can buy these things, and with the right kind of marketing, I will have people flooding into my e-commerce website to buy products. Another thing you are going to see is you see these discounts. So instead of just going to buy products because you know that people buy Oraimo products, and you just go and buy products and sell it, and then you sell your Oraimo power bank for maybe 30,000. You've forgotten that one of the things that Jumia does is to put some discounts on their products. So you might chase your people away. So it's either you use the same discount or you use a higher discount. First of all, you know that you can have people coming flooding into your website, right? But now you need them to buy your product. So because a lot of people would want to compare your product with other people's products, and one of the things that makes them buy it is the price. But if they are sure of the quality and they now see that the price is kind of maybe more expensive, they would go for the ones that are more expensive, are less expensive. All right. So these are the things that help company XYZ to say, oh, first of all, these are the 20 products we want to buy for our first sales. Then when we buy these 20 products, let's look at the discount and see how we can do this. So you can see that Clipper did not have any discounts. The Clipper, that is number 7, and it is professional rechargeable wireless hair clipper. It doesn't have the discount. I bought a clipper, and the clipper is now in my closet because it has the wire. And almost everywhere you go, you are now seeing even barbing salons now they even invest in buying the wireless clippers, right? So the era of using the cable, and they'll be flipping the cable over you Oga, turn, shift this way, or the cable is short, drag your chair towards this part so I can bag you. That error is going away. Okay, that error is going away. Okay, so somebody said it also shows the item categories to focus on in the market, communication accessories. So that is nice, that is interesting. So we can now see what data engineering is doing to businesses, right? It's getting businesses crazy. Like, it's making them really, it to get to this point. You saw the process that happened to get to this point. So now this process is really to explain to you the differences between the analyst and the engineer. Okay, so it took this process to make this available. So the data analyst could do this to an extent, get analysis from this data to explain to you why this data is so. That is the data engineer. All right. So after all these things, it can now be, if the company wants to employ an analyst to do like a deeper version of analysis, then that's cool. They can go ahead and employ a data analyst. A data analyst can go ahead in creating visualizations like charts, graphs, and all these things. But what are they creating them on? They are creating them on this data that the data engineer has made available. Do we understand now? Can you see how data engineering is interesting? So there are a lot of things just with what you are seeing here that we could generate. Okay, so that is the fun part of data engineering. All right, yeah. So Solomon, thank you very much. Okay, somebody saying, how about businesses that the information of their processes are not in web formats? Okay, how does data engineer come in? Okay, so the thing is that, remember when I started, I said this is just one of the patterns that we could use in getting data. And this is probably because the data, it's a sensitive kind of way, all right? So they are trying to get information from their competitors in a different way, all right? Now, so there are other ways that we could get data, okay, for different, it depends on the business use case. So the data engineer has to be logical in what he's doing. He thinks of it, the business. There are people who sell data sets as well, okay. Then let me use another example. Sometimes it doesn't have to be, getting all these businesses. Sometimes it could be that the business is producing data. All right. In this dispensation, we have things called like IoT devices. Okay. IoT devices are like devices that are placed in, say, locations. It's called Internet of Things. Okay. So what those devices do, for example, this is an agricultural company. And so I want to invest in IoT devices to understand what happens in the farms. Okay. So the idea is coming because I'm seeing Olarewaju's picture and I'm seeing a tree behind him. So I'm like, yeah, let me agree to explain this. All right. So now, when I put the IoT devices into the farms, these devices kind of capture environmental changes. It depends on what you want. We have different IoT devices that can do different things. It's just like your thermometer, right? When you put it's thermometer that puts, right, to check your temperature, right? So when you use that, it gives you the value of the temperature. So those are the kind of things that IoT devices do. So they have these sensors that are in there that they could capture the degree Celsius of the weather of the, so they could get like the temperature, okay, in degrees Celsius or degree whatever, Fahrenheit and the rest. They could also capture like the wind. They could capture different things like the soil texture. So now it could be programs that every 30 minutes to 1 hour be generating results. So that means there is a database that it will be sending that information to every hour. Okay, so now this is controlled by the data engineer. So the data, because that kind of data is massive. There's something in the field of data engineering called big data. Okay, this is an example of big data. So that kind of data is massive. That is only data engineering tools that can be used to manage such data. All right, it is only data engineers that are really trained to handle such kind of massive data. So they get those data on how many, we have 24 hours in a day. So that means you are having a minimum of 24 records in a day, right? And if you multiply that by the number of days in a week, by the number of weeks in a month, for only 1 month, you can do the math. Then you're talking of year and years. So you realize that the data becomes so massive, your Excel spreadsheet can't even contain the 1 month old. All right. Then some databases will even begin to crash. But data engineers are trained on what to use and how to use that to manage such massive data, and then makes it available for data analysis to run the analysis. Okay, that is for agriculture. There is for the bank, all the transactions you make, all the financial transactions, all those data you do when you put your ATM card into the machine, to the device, and then you do a debit or you do a transfer or something. This is data you are generating. The bank is getting that data. What happens between when you did that and when you receive the alert is a data engineering process. Do you understand? Because it is something that has to do with credibility. There are different structures that are used to explain that. There's something called ACID, there's something called normalization. So when you're learning data engineering, you tend to understand these things. So that is called OLTP, online transactional process. So as you're putting this your ATM card into that machine, it debits the account, right? Then it has to communicate with some other tables that are attached to that particular account. So that, because if a proper data engineering process is not handled, some people can outsmart the system. Because imagine you just go somewhere else to go and purchase an item, and it has your account has not yet impacted. You understand? You made a debit, maybe you had 50,000 and you made a debit of 20,000. You should have 30,000 naira balance, isn't it? But maybe it's taking time for the balance to reflect. So your account has not been impacted. So when you went to buy something, from maybe another supermarket, you discover that you are still having that 50,000, that you could just buy 50,000 naira worth of thing, which has affected the database. Then you now start having minus something in your account when the result now comes up. So data engineering makes sure that as much as possible, this process is going to happen within splits of seconds. That as you did the debits, you are going to you might not receive the alert, but the effect is going to take place, because there are other things that affect receiving the alert, which is beyond the data engineering part, which could be like maybe from the telecommunication industry. You've experienced some things like that, right? That somebody saying, I never see alert, I've not seen an alert. You understand? So that means I'm not going to give you the product. And the person is like, check your balance. And sometimes when you check your balance, you discover that, yeah, it has taken effect, right? So all these and many more are what data engineers really do. So we are the backbone of many businesses. And the way it is going on this time around, data engineering is coming out very strong and very crazy, okay? Because businesses are beginning to understand the impacts of data engineering to their success, to making profit, and that is really, really an interesting thing, especially around this time. It is like a great timing right now because it is still new. So the opportunities are still so many out there. What they're looking for are people that can meet up to these opportunities. We've had countless kind of opportunities come to some people's desks. I've had friends and all those stuff that have received some opportunities coming to their desks, and they are kind of deciding which they would go for or so. All it takes is for you. All it takes is for you to is I got distracted by this question. I'm just thinking the question is looking interesting. Let me see. I'm thinking that this can help our electoral process in transmitting election results from every polling unit made possible by data engineering, creating the pathways without hitches. Yeah, sure. I agree. There are ways that could happen, of course. So it's very possible. Data engineering could do that. Okay. So because there's something called streaming in data engineering. So as this is happening, the result is appearing. Okay. So data engineering could do that as an election is going on, if you just press or thumbprint or whatever, the record is captured and then the result is being updated live. Okay, so those are things that happen. So there are so many ways to explain this, and this is just one part. And we'll be holding some of these master classes, but the main thing here is the academy has structured up-to-date principles and pattern and trainings that could make someone who is even a novice come out being a data engineer. So we are not trying to just make you a data engineer, but we are trying to make you that relevant data engineer that can meet up the current standard or the requirements of business needs in the industry. Okay. So, but before I'm trying to go away now, for what, when they say I come down so that my master can come up. All right, so I want to introduce um one of the co-founders of 10 Analytics. He is going to round up this session with very important information and a very good bonus. Now, before I do that, I also want to drop this information. You could check me on LinkedIn, okay? If you have questions, because I know that some persons are still very much interested in the web, the part, the web scraping we just did. But aside that, for this set of persons that are here, I could give you like a bonus. Okay, it's like a bonanza from my end. All right, on behalf of 10 Analytics. Okay, I could give you a bonanza for a consultancy period, just this 1 week. All right, so you could meet me on LinkedIn for queries, inquiries, and all those things, and we could set up a meet and would have, like, say, maybe 20 to 30 minutes of consultancy free of charge. It's going to be sponsored by 10 Analytics, so the bill is on you. So the bill is on you, but it's not going to be more than, I think, maybe 10 persons. All right. Okay. So to clear doubts and to give you a pathway, all right, this is going to be free. Consultancy for data engineering is kind of quite expensive. All right. So that is that. And we would also try to see how we can send the link of these sheets, of these codes, for those that are interested. So please register on the attendance form, and so that we could send the relevant information to your emails. All right. So thank you very much. And Boss Efemina, you're welcome on board.
So, why? All right, thanks a lot, Byron. The session was a very fantastic session, no doubt about that. I think for ease, so that your DM is not plugged with so many people reaching out to you individually, and that could actually be very. So what we can actually do is we can have like a one-on-one session during the week, all right, whereby if you have any questions regarding data engineering or the demand for data engineering, we can answer those questions. We can just have a one-on-one conversation. So we call it one-on-one calls where you can actually just join and ask questions about transitioning into data engineering. So we're going to do that this week. All right. So yeah, that's actually very fantastic. Yeah. Thanks a lot for that idea, Byron. That's actually a great one. All right. Good evening, everyone. Like Byron has rightly said, my name is Ifemena Ipro, co-founder of 10 Analytics, and currently I lead the business data support team with the post office here in the UK. All right, and that's what I do. I've had experience from data engineering to business BI engineering, to data analytics, to data science, to just been privileged to work on. So I've worked in different departments, data focused departments, and currently that's what I'm doing also with my current organization. So we're going to talk about data engineering. And to be very honest, if you rewind back probably like 5 years ago, 5 years ago, you won't be hearing data engineering. Data engineering wasn't the intent, wasn't what was being spoken about. The intent was data analytics. Everybody was talking about data analytics, and now data analytics is changing the world, data science, and so on and so forth. But now you would have noticed that there is so much force around data engineering. There's so much noise, there's so much information, there's so much demand for data engineers. And exactly why there's a demand for it is because the data analyst and the data scientist can't do anything. And let me ask you this question, yeah? Can a car run without fuel? It's impossible. Can you cook if there is no light or if there's no gas? It's impossible. You can't do anything. So a data scientist, a data analyst can't do anything without the work of a data engineer. Now, let me talk about my own personal experience. All right. So what actually led me to become a BI engineer? I wasn't found. I wasn't given a role as a BI engineer. All right. I was actually just a BI analyst, that's a business intelligence analyst. All right. And on this role, I noticed that I kept waiting for people. I kept waiting for data, the engineering team, guys at the back end to always get me data. So if I need the data, I would always send an email to request for the data I was looking for, create a warehouse, create this. That's the data I need. So, the pressure was always coming back to me to say that, why have you not delivered this report? Why is this report not built? Why have you not gotten the answers I was looking for? So, rather than going to meet the BI people every time I need a request, okay, I started doing what? I started building pipeline myself, okay, to get the data from the database, clean it up, transform exactly what participant Chimerike did today. All right, get the data from the database and get the data from different sources within the organization. So every organization uses what we call ERP and CRM tools. So ERP is enterprise resource planning tools, and we have CRM tools like Salesforce, SAP, and so on and so forth. So, getting data from all these sources and starting to make sense out of it. That's exactly that's what has given rise to data engineer. So there's no organization that would not need a data engineer, because the data analyst and the data scientist won't be able to perform their duties without data. So that's why data engineering is becoming so much in high demand. All right. Back in Nigeria, back across Africa, in the UK, across Europe, and in Canada and across the world, you will notice that they are paying through their nose. Organizations pay through their nose to afford data engineers. Even in the spectrum of tech, when you're looking at tech in general, data engineers are one of the highest paid at the moment. All right, because of the demand. There's so much demand, okay, and there's less supply. And that's the reason why we started the data engineering training program, to help people upskill to, start to fill in these roles of data engineers. Now, it's early on. Like I said, 5 years ago, you wouldn't have heard of data engineering. You won't. It wasn't a big name. It wasn't a big career path. It wasn't a career path. All right. But now, people that will learn this now are the ones that will be leading in the next 1 year, in the next 2 years. Just like where I started data analytics a few years ago. All right. And now I'm leading a department, I'm leading a unit. You understand? So that's why I try to tell people, get into career paths that there is a future. Down the line, you're going to be leading, you're going to be doing things. And there's a demand for it at the moment. So this is the first in class, be it structured data engineering training program. And I'm saying first in class because there is no other place you'll find where you get a training program that is for beginners, and I will take you from 0 to 100 in data engineering. There is nowhere. Trust me, there is absolutely nowhere you will get it. And if you try to search and you get it, trust me, you'll see there's so many constraints that you'll be faced with in getting to that training program. Anyways, to talk more about that, this is a certified data engineering training program that will take you from 0 to 100 in data engineering. So Chimere that presented to you guys was a participant. He started in January, went through the training program, and you see how he's talking confidently about the code he has written. So that's exactly what we'll be talking about. Now, this training program is for 3 months. It's 3 months immersive and intensive training program. Okay. It's 100% online, so you can join anywhere. So you're in Canada, you're in the US, you're in Nigeria, you are anywhere in the world, you can actually attend the session. All right. The fact that you're here shows that you have interest, and there's so many things you will get from the training program. All right. So also the training program is hands-on practical. All right, so we don't do too much theory. And as you can see, everything we did today was more practical, telling you this is the code, this is what you do when you're faced with this issue, this is how you solve the issue. So it's more practical, using practicals to explain the theory. All right, using practicals to explain the theory, and that's the best way you learn. And the project you're going to be working on are industry relevant projects you can easily showcase to potential recruiters, to potential employers. And this is what I have built, this is what my portfolios and so on. So, those projects are what you would add to your repository. Okay. Now, you have lifetime access to the materials and experts. Okay. So the likes of Byron, the likes of other facilitators that will be working with you, they are the ones that will hold your hands and guide you through. So you have sort of like a one-on-one session, all right? Because it's not a lot of people. I'm going to be working with you individually to ensure that you understand and practicalize and also transition into your data engineering role. Okay, so this is lifetime access to the materials and the experts, because you can't remember everything. It's me. Coding is not something that you learn today and you learn forever. You need to constantly engage. You need to constantly go back to see what you've done. All right, now you did it. So you have lifetime access to the materials and the experts. Now, the other thing also is the number of classes. So you have over 24 classes and you'll be covering 50 plus topics. 50 plus topics. Now you're talking about topics. I will explain the topics that you'll be talking about in the next slide. Okay. So the average salary for a data engineer is 10 million naira. That's if you're in Nigeria. And if you're in the UK, it's at 52,000 pounds. Now, there was a participant. One of the other reasons why we started this training program. This training program started in January, and one of the reasons why we started was one of our participants reached out to us. Is in Nigeria. Okay, went through the data analytics training program, got a job. Currently works with one of the top insurance firms back in Nigeria. And the guy reached out and said that he got a call from one of the firms in Nigeria. Okay, they do tech recruitment and all that. And the request he said is he has a very good profile, currently works with an insurance company, doing well for himself, and they're looking for a data engineer. Will you be able to take on a data engineering role? And guess what? How much was the money? Net pay was 1 million naira, 1 million naira net for a data engineering role in Nigeria, fully remote. All right. So he applied, he went ahead to do it. I think it got dropped at the second stage because we didn't have the skill set in order for him to take on this role. So those are the challenges that we had. And we said, okay, do you know what? There is so much demand for data engineers. Why don't we start training people to take on these roles? So whenever they get it, we can also transition into data engineering. So that's what we're doing, okay, to fill up that shortage of data engineers in the industry. All right. So, and the same thing with the UK. Anywhere in Europe, in the UK, that's literally like a gold mile for you, to be honest, to get into. Like Canada, you're in the US, those are gold mile. And I'm going to show you some of the places you would see for yourself how much these data engineers are actually earning in these regions. All right. So you get to add more projects to your portfolio, 6 plus projects. You get to work on over 6 projects, okay, during the course of your program. So you'll be working on projects in Python, to SQL, to data pipeline, to AWS, and so on and so forth. So you'll be adding so many projects to your portfolio. Now, 100% job visibility, that is what we'll do for you also. 100% job visibility. All right. So I'll talk more on this in the next couple of slides. Okay. Will you also get you get an industry relevant certification. All right. You get an industry relevant certification. The training program is for 3 months. Okay. And you get 1 month free internship. You get a 1 month free virtual internship. So it's industry relevant certification. It lasts for 3 months and it comes with a 1 month free internship. So in total, you're going to be with us for 4 months. All right, you're going to be with us for 4 months. So 4 months of immersive and intensive training in order for you to become a data engineer. All right. Now, what are you learning? That's the key question. What are you learning? So you're going to be starting because it's designed for beginners, okay, for both beginners and, with no data engineering experience or experienced scientists, analysts looking to own their skills. So like I said, we have a lot of data analysts currently, and majority of the senior data analyst roles that you'll be looking at again would require you to know data engineering. All right, and I'm going to show you one that I personally went through when we get there. All right, so this training program is designed for both beginners with no data engineering experience or experienced data analyst, data scientist, experienced professional. So you're coming from any background. You're an experienced HR professional. You're an experienced, what else is there? Experienced admin officer, admin, logistics personnel, or whatever it is. All right, you can also learn. This training program is designed for beginners. So you start with the beginner entry level, which is introduction to data engineering. So all the basic concepts, what's a database, what's a data warehouse, what's a data lake, the data modeling techniques, okay? What's a relationship, types of relationship, how to build a data model, dimension and facts tables, the basic things that you need to know in order for you to get started in data engineering will be taught, okay? Then the next part is SQL. SQL is a language of database. And being the fact that you're a data engineer, you will be working a lot with databases. So whether it's a cloud platform like AWS or an on-premise like Postgres, MySQL, and any other on-premise database structures. So you'll be working with SQL. You'll be working a lot with SQL. All right. Now, after learning SQL, you would move to Python programming. Okay, so you see the code that Chimerike presented today was a Python programming. So you'll be learning Python. All right, and I'll go, like I said, I'm going to show you one I did personally, and you'll get to see that these are the technologies that people are looking for. All right, so you learn SQL, you learn Python, you also learn Linux. Okay, you learn how to build ETL pipelines. Okay, you learn how to build custom ETL pipelines. You get to work with APIs, you get to work with web scraping, so on and so forth. All right, so that's what you do in this particular level. And you see that's a progression. Then the next thing, after you build a pipeline, you need to orchestrate, you need to schedule, you need to automate it so that you don't run your code every day. All right. You won't want to build a code base and you'll be running it manually every day. It makes no sense. All right. So you want to automate it. You would want to automate it to run either on streaming or to run at a certain time. Okay. The next thing is cloud engineering, okay, using AWS. All right. So this training program also allows you to work, after you finish the training program, you can get jobs as a cloud engineer, an AWS cloud engineer. All right. And last but not the least, last but not the least is the version control using GitHub. All right. So you'll be working with what we call version control, CI/CD using GitHub. So this is a training program that takes you from 0 to 100 in data engineering. Okay, so it's that practical base. It's going to be practical. And I'm going to show you some of the videos from the classes. You get to see what we've done, so on and so forth. All right, so from introduction to data engineering all the way to cloud engineering and version controlling using GitHub will be taught during the training program. All right. So this is how it goes, okay? Introduction to data engineering, Python, SQL, just the same way we did it. And at the end of everything, you get your certificate. Before you get your certificate, we have something, and that's what we call the capstone project. All right. Like I said, you work on quite a number of projects. You work on Python projects, SQL projects, building pipeline projects, Linux projects, orchestration projects, cloud engineering projects. Okay, but last but not least, before you get the certificate, you have a capstone project. Now, this capstone project is a very beautiful one because you get to now leverage all the technologies you've worked on. You get to leverage everything together in one full-on, hands-on, practical case study. All right. Now, this case study are industry case study, things that we have worked on, myself, Byron, and other experts that I'm going to show to you. All right, projects that are relevant in the industry, things that people are looking for, people are doing in the industry. And I'm going to show you one that I did personally. All right. So 100% virtual instructor-led classes, 100% in virtual instructor-led classes. Okay, so you have a person in front of you that is teaching you and telling you what it is. Experts, all right, someone that has been, someone that is data engineer that will be teaching you. So we have experts from InterSwitch, from different tech firms across the world that will be working with you. All right. So weekend classes, Saturdays and Sunday. Okay, it's a 1 month virtual. It comes with a 1 month virtual internship, like I rightly said. So classes run on weekends, Saturdays and Sunday. Okay, classes run on weekends, Saturdays and Sunday. So Monday to Friday, you get to watch the videos and you get assignments, you get projects to work on during the week. So you're never idle. You're always learning. Every day you're doing something new. All right. So Saturday and Sunday is where we have the live classes. But Monday to Friday, you're given projects, you're given assignments to work on. That really just enhances your skill, in becoming a data engineer. All right, so you have the 1 month virtual internship, okay? And I'll speak more on this because it's a fantastic one on what has really helped quite a number of our participants in landing their first role, across the world, okay? So I'll talk more on the additional services that we render, okay? So now, additional benefits. So if you go through the training program, aside you learning data engineering, because data engineering, yes, you have the skill set, you can build pipelines, you can use AWS, you can do all the wonderful things. But now, guess what? That's not the only thing that will get you the job. Trust me, it's not the only thing. The technical side of things, yes, will get you there. Yes, will get you noticed. Let me put it that way. But what will get you the job is these additional benefits that we are rendering for you, to our participants. Now, the first is CV review. Number one here is CV review. CV review. Okay. Now, CV review is very important because what gets you noticed is the CV that you have. Your CV is you in paper, in digital format. So if you send the CV out, okay, if it don't look nice, if the CV doesn't look palatable, doesn't look interesting, you're likely to get called. And now you see a lot of people say that, oh, I get a lot of rejection. Okay, it's because of your CV. So we have something we call ATS. All right, ATS. A lot of companies across the world now use ATS because once you post what do you call it, a job advert, you see thousands of people applying for it. Now, do you think an HR professional is going to sit down to be looking at everybody's CV one after the other? It's likely impossible. That's likely impossible. So they have automated it using ATS, which is application tracking system. It's a software that tracks applications. So if you submit your CV and your CV is having your local government, is having so many nonsense in there, is likely going to get cancelled, and that's how you get a rejection. Now, there are other things that you have to put in your CV. You're becoming a data engineer. There are certain keywords that has to be in your CV. You have those keywords in your CV, all right? So that's what we do for you during the CV review session, all right? So it's a one-on-one session where we get to work with you and get your CV, reworded, reviewed to get you into that career path. LinkedIn optimization by far is one of the things that I enjoy, that I personally enjoy, that I get benefit from, and has helped me in my own personal career, getting a new role and so on and so forth. So LinkedIn optimization is fantastic because even if you submit your CV, all right, guess what? The recruiter is still going to go to your LinkedIn profile. The recruiter will still take out time to go to your LinkedIn profile to confirm what you have on your CV matches what you have on your LinkedIn profile. Now, is your LinkedIn optimized? I know you guys will have seen LinkedIn optimization, or even if you've not heard of it before, there's something we call LinkedIn optimization. So first of all, LinkedIn optimization puts you at the forefront when you're looking for a job. So if you're looking for a job as a data engineer, okay, it puts you in front, puts you in the highest recommendation. When a recruiter is looking for a data engineer, you're part of the first set of people the person is going to see, the recruiter is going to see. So we do work with LinkedIn optimization. We optimize it, and this comes for free. You're not paying for this. All you're doing is the training program, but you also get this additional benefits. See review, LinkedIn optimization. Navigating the job market is fantastic because you are new to data engineering. How many roles do you think you can apply to as a data engineer? I'm very sure you'll be thinking, oh, only data engineer. That's the only role I can take on because I learned data engineering. I'm looking for a job as a data engineer. But there's so much roles you can actually take on. All right. You can work as a BI engineer. Okay. You can work as a cloud engineer. There's so many ways you can, there's so many roles that are in your on your back and in your back and cloud that you can actually, latch into and you can work as. But if you don't know, you don't know. That's why we're here to tell you what kind of jobs you can apply to. All right, that's what we call the navigator job market. We tell you in recruitment apps how to apply for jobs, how to get those keywords into your CV to get you noticed. That's exactly what we're doing for you. All right, so you're outside the country, you're looking for a sponsored job. That's exactly what this solves it also. You are currently working, you've never worked as a data engineer before in your life, you've never worked in the data space before. How do you navigate the job market? That's essentially what we are doing in this particular place. Now, the next thing is recommendation and reference letter. This is by far one of the most, this is one of the reasons why a lot of people have not gotten jobs. And I'll tell you for free. Okay. I'll tell you for free. I'm just going to open up my email and I'm going to show you something real quick. This is a recommendation letter that came in this week. Just this week alone, I've gotten quite a number of reference letter, and I'm going to open this for you. Going to need it because there's some personal information here. It's a reference letter, so there are so many information in there that I cannot, I can't show to you on the session like this. But essentially, let me just quickly show it. Okay. Just give me a second. I'm just gonna erase give it a PR. Sorry. Just gonna erase the assessment. Sorry, please. Okay, somebody unmuted themselves. General. Okay. I'm just gonna erase it to ensure that this is not coming from. I can't see anybody's information. All right. So this is a perfect example. All right. So this is a perfect example of what we call a reference letter. Okay. So most of people have read. So this is a reference that came in. I came in on Friday. Just this week. We have 5 people. I personally, so myself and Daisy, some other, we have like 3 people within analytics that offer out references. Okay. Only me this week, I had 5 references within the UK, Canada, and Nigeria that I offered out, I gave out references this week. And guess what? What are they looking for? This is within the UK. This is someone in the UK. All right. So we're contacting the reference letter for this particular person. The reference will take a couple of minutes, 3 options, blah, 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 and this is it. This came in when Friday, 6 p.m. This person sent me a message, we went through the interview process together, prepared him for the interview, went for the interview, and I currently got a job as a senior data analyst with this particular organization. So these are the things that we do on the back end. That's how external people will look at it and say that was recommendation letter, but this is what organizations are looking for. You need somebody to back up the skills, and that's what we are offering to you. So, these are the things that we do, okay? And that's where, the recommendation and reference letter comes in, because you can learn data engineering online. You can learn it on YouTube, but who is going to do your CV for you? Who is going to optimize your LinkedIn? Who's going to tell you how to navigate the job market? Who's going to offer recommendation and references? Who's going to prepare you for interview? All right. So these are the things that people don't tell you. Okay. I will tell you, go and get a course on Udemy. Trust me, when the person teaching you Udemy tell you how to review your CV, if you have an error, even if you have a simple error on Udemy or Udacity and all this, you would not even get a response in like 2-3 days. Meanwhile, we have almost 24 hours, response time. So whenever you're going through the sessions, you have people that are responding to you as fast and as quick as possible. So we do all these things for you, okay? The job interview preparation sessions, we have mentorship sessions because we all know that you are getting started. And one thing most people don't understand is getting started in data engineering or even in any technical role requires you to have mentors. So you need mentors. And that's why we have a pool of experts that will work with you in getting you ready to become a data engineer. All right. So now let's move on to the next thing. The growth internship program is fantastic because first of all, you can add it to your CV to tell people, to tell potential recruiters that you work with analytics. And that's why you see a lot of them sending us reference letter because they recognize us and they recognize the fact that these people are working with us, okay? And you provide, this recommendation letter. And we provide a reference recommendation letter, okay? So you can add it to your CV to tell people you work as a data engineer with analytics. And yes, you work with analytics because you will be given projects to work on. And these projects are industry relevant projects. Industry relevant projects. Okay. So you get 1 month to own your skills extra. In this internship, you get to work across all the technologies we said you are going to learn. So from data engineering, from Python to SQL to everything, you're going to learn everything and you'll start to practice it during the internship. So you work on 6 projects, okay? You get a project review with an expert. With an expert, you get to review your project with an expert. Somebody will tell you the best practice within the industry, so on and so forth. All right. So roles you can do, some of the roles you can do after completing the training program, you see you can work as a data engineer, a business intelligence developer, data engineer, analytics engineer, ETL developer, technical architect, data science engineer, and quantitative data engineer. All right, these are just some of the roles that you can actually take on once you complete the training program. So there are a certain number of roles you can do. Now, working remotely, okay, is something that most people want to do. You don't want to, you want to work freelancing, you want to work remotely, you don't want to shuffle to work every day. You just want to wake up and, stay on your computer in your house without going, or you want to go work from the coffee shop and all that. Those are the things most people are looking out for. So let me just show you, because I like to show, real time, what this role entails. So I'm going to show you, all right? So let me just open the browser and I'll go to well-found actually. Okay, well-found, sorry. I think this browser is the browser. Okay. Okay. And I'll just take this. Okay. So well-found, I'm going to look for job seekers. This is fully remote roles, fully remote international roles. All right. So I'm going to look at find roles, browse jobs, find the job made for you, browse job, and I'm going to show you data analytics. So we have different roles. So you have data and analytics jobs. So you see there's a data engineer role that's looking for, and this is what 120 to 150,000. Data insight engineer, something also you can do is $60,000 to $90,000. All right, and see all the other roles that you have there. Now, you can view all roles, all jobs, all right, but you'll need to log in. You'll need to create an account, okay? You'll need to create an account. But these are all fully remote roles in the UK, in Canada, that you can actually take on fully remote roles. This is Seek AI, this is Brown Signal, this is Wonder, and so on and so forth. So you can see this data engineer, this is 100 to 120,000. This is fully remote roles, fully remote roles that you can take on after completing the training program. All right. So, and this is just one of the places you can actually apply to. Just one of these you can apply. This is just one of the sources. So you have LinkedIn. These are the common ones, but there are still some ones I will not show you until you pay for the training program. All right. So remote.co, we have Upwork, we have Indeed. We just showed you well-found. So well-found was the one I just showed you, all right, which is also one of the popular places you can get remote roles. All right. So if you want to get more information about remote roles, then don't worry, I'll show you. Okay. So the global demand for tech talent. So taking this particular training program also exposes you to, relocation. Most people want to relocate. So majority of these organizations, majority of these countries, not just organizations now, are looking for tech talent. So Canada is looking, they have what we call the Global Talent Stream Program, which is basically for people, tech talent looking to relocate to Canada. Now, this is the fastest way for you to relocate to Canada. It takes you 2 weeks to get your visa once you get a job. All right. United Kingdom Global Talent Visa. All right. Global Talent Visa, okay, which is for the UK, very popular one for tech talent also. Germany, Blue Card Scheme, tech talent. Singapore, Tech Pass Program, professionals. Australia, Global Talent Visa, also for tech talent. France, French Tech Visa Program. And Ireland, we have Critical Skills Employment Permit Program. These are all for tech talent. Tech talent. All right. So if you go to the training program, these are the things that you get exposed to, all right, in terms of relocation packages, in terms of you moving out of the country and all that. Okay. So we are also working on, even in the UK, we're currently working on recruitment, getting partnerships with recruitment within the UK. So we're currently in talks with quite a number of them. Okay. And hopefully before the end of the year, we can solidify and also get things working out with them. So these are things that we are working on, and we want to start recommending our alumni to organizations within the UK. So that's the next phase of what we are working on. So, there are quite a number of things that you get from the training program, not just from the training, but from analytics as a whole. Okay. So some of the facilitators, you have myself, if you're MENA April, I'll be taking on the program. You have the data engineer, Kelvin Oyana, has worked with fintech, has worked with e-commerce firms across the world, currently works with a fintech company in Canada, and he lives in Nigeria. Okay. So Obina also a data scientist that works with a company in Canada, currently based in Canada. All right, we'll also be working with you. We have a machine learning engineer, Brian Denta UK. All right, he is going to also be on the program to hold your hands and guide you through the journey to becoming a data engineer. All right, so we have data science consultant, Big Four consulting here in the UK. All right, and it's going to also be part of the facilitators that would be working with you, okay, and getting you ready to become a data engineer. So we have the likes of Byron, we have and over so many other people that will be working with you to get you into the data engineering training program. Now, the training fee for this training program, the training program is going to be starting on the 1st of July, 2023. That's on the first Saturday in July. So 1st of July is when we're starting this training program. And this training program is going to last for 3 months. Okay, it's going to last for 3 months. And we also get 1 month free internship. 1 month free internship. So it's a total of 450,000 naira. Okay, if I'm going to be paying in naira, 450,000 naira. Now you can pay in 2 installments of 350 and 100,000. So you can pay the first installment of 350, and after 1 month into the training program, you can balance the remaining of 100,000 naira. Now you can pay in 2 installments. If you're paying in pounds, you can pay 400 pounds, then pay 100 pounds 1 month into the training program. So that's 500 pounds as a whole. All right. So this is the actual cost of the training program. Well, I have a special offer for you. I have a special offer for people that are early birds, people that want to pay before the training program starts. So we have an early bird discount, and I don't want you guys to tell anybody. Okay. We have an early bird discount. So the program is still starting on the 1st of July. We are running a discount for people that for early bird. Okay. So if you want to make payments, in the next 1 week, you'll get a discount of 100 pounds. So rather than you paying 500 pounds, you can pay 400 pounds, and you can still pay in 2 installments. That's the beauty. You can still pay in 2 installments. So you can pay 300 pounds to secure your position. Okay. And we also have 100 pounds that you can pay 1 month into the training program. All right. And if you're paying in naira, you have 350,000 naira rather than paying 450. So you have a discount of 100,000 naira. And you can still pay in 2 installments of 250,000 naira and 100,000 naira. So these are some of the benefits of what you're doing. So if you're going to be paying in CAD, don't worry, we have the links here for you. All right. If you're going to be paying in Canadian dollars, you're going to be paying in US dollars. You have the PayPal link that you'll be sent, all right, in order for you to make payments. All right. So we've had issues with receiving money, all right, using Canadian, I think, Interact and all that. So it's very difficult to work with. All right. So the PayPal will, what of the discounts? I'm guessing that's what you wrote. Yes, don't worry. everything is there, formatted already. So once you click on the link, the foreign card payment, once you see the foreign card payment for PayPal, you can make a discount. Now, this is only for the first week, only for early birds within a week. All right. So between now till next week maximum, and only for the first 20 people to register. It's only available for the first 20 people. So we're only looking at the first 20 people to register for the early bird discounts. Okay, so it's going to expire within a week. So if you want to take advantage of this particular discount, please make payments so you can secure your own space in the training program. So if you're going to be paying in Canadian dollars, you're going to be paying in US dollars, you're going to be paying in euros and any other currency, please use the PayPal link. All right, use the PayPal link. I have my people on the call. Where are they? Ibele is not there anymore. I can't see Ibele here. Hawkins, could you post the link, the account details into the chat so that people can get it from there? Okay. So if you're going to be paying if you're going to be paying in the UK account, all right, this is the UK account number. All right. And if you're going to be paying in Naira, this is the Naira account details. Okay. What is the discount? The discount is 100,000 Naira. So if you're going to be paying in Naira, if you're going to be paying in Naira, initially was 450,000 Naira. And if you're going to be paying in pounds, it is 500 pounds. All right, it's 500 pounds. But now we're running the discount. So rather than you paying 450, you will be paying 350,000 Naira. And rather than you paying 500 pounds, you'll be paying 400 pounds. So there's a discount of 100 pounds on 100,000 Naira. So that's a discount available, which is only for the first 20 people. And it's going to expire within a week because it's just for early bird discounts. What is the total fee in Canadian dollars for early bird? Is it there? For Canadian dollars, like I said, use the PayPal link. It's going to do the conversion for you. All right. Once you click on the PayPal link, it's going to do the conversion for you and you can make payments. You can use your card to make payments. It's very secure and all that. Okay. So Jude, if you want to go through, use the PayPal link. Everything is available for you. All right. So yes, so Daphne has posted it. The links are there for you to. This is not the payment link. The PayPal link is what I'm requesting for, not the brochures. So we're still going to send the brochures to them. So if you want to paste the PayPal and the PayStart link for people to make payments. So if you're looking at the UK account, okay, the UK account is this is the UK account and this is Naira account. Bear in mind that this is only for the 520 people to make payments. All right, so please gather your spots now. Grab your copy now. So let me take a few questions and I can call it a day. All right, so if you have any question, please feel free to raise up your hands and I'll be taking your questions. All right, so if you have any question, please go ahead to raise up your hand and I'll be taking your questions. All right, well, something I wanted to show you when I was on the call, let me quickly show you. So, like I said, this is my list of accounts and I'm going to show you. This is a report. This is one of the ones I told you about. So it was a senior data analyst position I was going for with BBC here in the UK. And, a task, an assessment was prepared, to say that, okay, you want to become a senior data analyst with BBC, correct? All right, let's give you a task to perform. And this is what I'm telling you, that data analysts, data scientists will start to need to take on, data engineering skills, okay? So you can't just be a data analyst anymore because, you need to have a blend of data engineering into your role. So this senior data analyst role, okay, you see, in this task, we would like you to analyze and manipulate data using a programming language of your choice. SQL, in which you're going to learn that. Python, you're going to learn that, okay? So you can use either SQL or Python and you're learning the two of them, all right? And share your findings about BBC iPlayer usage and that tells a clear story, okay? So this data was provided and you see everything about the data, the metadata, all that was provided. Now, you see, once the task was performed, the data set was given, okay? The data sources and all that were given. You see the data. So the data, web use data, like what we did today, getting data from the web. We have the metadata and we have the user data. So 3 data sources were provided. So what did you do? Okay, what would you do? All right. So what I did was to build an ETL pipeline. scrape the data, get the data, clean the data, and load it into the database. Now look at this. Extracting data from data file. Extraction completed. A total of 16,000 rows of data were extracted. Missing values detected. To detect the missing value, it will replace the missing value. All right. Metadata updated successfully. So it will extract the data from one data source and load it into another data source. So essentially, this is the kind of projects you'll be working on. Projects that are relevant within the industry, what people are currently working on. So these are these are some of the projects, okay, that you'll be working on, things that we have worked on, projects that we have worked on, that we have been required to build, okay, that we have worked on in our industry or at work. Those are the ones that we used to teach our participants. All right. So if you're looking to harness or to upskill yourself with data engineering, this is the best place to be. Trust me, okay? This is the best place to be. All right. So if you have any question, I don't see anybody raising up their hands. Anybody raising up your hands, you can raise up your hand if you have any question, if you want to ask any question. Okay. If you want to ask any question, I would give about 5-10 minutes for people to ask question. All right. So let me just show you something else while I wait for someone to raise up their hand. Okay, Bright, I'm going to take you shortly. All right. So let me just show you the class, how the classroom looks like. Okay. So you see, these are all the classes. Like I said, you have lifetime access to the classes. You have a lifetime access to the classes. Now, let me just quickly show you what this is going to entail. All right. Let me show you what this is going to entail. Okay, let's just take it to Code 5, Data Engineering. And you see this. So currently they are in their SQL class. So they are their SQL class today, SQL class 3. Okay. And you see everything is provided. Let's see the lesson note they had in class today. This was today. This was posted, the new material was posted yesterday around 10 a.m. yesterday. All right. So you see the material, data preprocessing, select statement, insert statement, and all these things were provided for them. And I'm going to show you the recording in class, okay, of what they did in class today. This is the SQL class. You'll see how practical the classes are, okay? And this is it. Even if you miss a class, the recording is there. You can always go back to access the recording, go over the notes. And if you have questions, we have a Slack channel that we use within, we have a Slack channel, okay? So you see the Slack channel, and you see the data engineering, you see all the chats in there where we get to communicate, where we get to talk with participants, so on and so forth. All right. So everything is embedded so that it's a community. It's not just you learning on your own. You have issues, send the question in. You do something amazing, send it in. Everybody celebrates one another. All right. So you see, these are all the materials. Let me take you to a later course, okay? So this one just started, okay? So let me take you to data engineering mode 4, okay? And you get to see exactly what we're talking about. So you see, you look for things that have been going on. So from welcome to Python, from Python, you see everything in Python. Python class 6, you see the recording is in the mentorship sessions, like I rightly said. The mentorship sessions are all there, okay? It is taking a while to load. Let me just fast forward the beats. Let's see if it's not working. All right, so you see everything is in there. And I'm going to take you also back to, Word 3, the same thing. Everything arranged in order. So even when you finish your training program, you can always revise at every point in time. Go back to revise to get better, at what you're doing. So you have, Python class to Upwork optimization to, Python and database, how to work with Python and database. And let's see the file. I'm going to open a Google Colab. I get to see exactly what people are doing in class. So you see everything, what types of API. Like I said, you'll be working with APIs, building ETL pipelines, connected to web APIs and other APIs to get the data. So you have web APIs, you have REST APIs, you have SOAP APIs. You have quite a number of things that you're going to be learning. And you're still going to be using, like I said, you're going to be using practical to understand theory, because that's the best way you can actually learn. All right. And these are the things that you're going to learn because you have to learn it. And we have people that will get you through all these things at the same time. So you see what we're doing here, all the participants working together, and you see this is a class. practical, working with how to get data from different sources and bring them into Python, into your Postgres environment. Okay. So these are the projects you're going to be working on. These are some of the projects you will get to work on. So it's project-based, project-driven, and you see them teaching in class. These are classes happening today. All right. This was 10/6/2016, which is literally today around 11:10. Started at 11. All right. So this is just the way the classroom looks like. Everything is arranged methodologically, okay, and everything is available for you. Okay. So Bright, let me take your question and then you can call it a day. So Bright, let me take your question quickly.
Hello.
Yes, boss.
Yeah, good evening.
Good evening, yeah.
Please, when you go to LinkedIn and then you go
Yes.
through their job posts for data engineer or data analyst, you see that as part of their qualifications, a lot of them write a minimum of a bachelor's degree in computer science, as well as 3 to 4 years experience. So my question is, with the training you are providing, as well as the 1 month internship, how will it qualify someone who is a newbie in computer science, or who doesn't have a degree in computer science, to be able to apply and then get a job with a training?
So let me tell you something. So my roles over the years have had me to start recruiting for the organizations I work with, and I'll tell you categorically, job applications, JDs you see online on LinkedIn and other deals or other application sites, okay? They are wish lists, okay? So they are what we call wish list, because you can't get 100%. You can't get a candidate that is 100% ticking all the boxes. All right, it's impossible. It's technically impossible to get. And if somebody can do 100% of the things that you have on your JD, you will likely not recruit to that person, because you know deep down that the person is going to leave the organization. Now, speaking of, not even going into that regards, okay, these are, like I said, they're called wish list because it's impossible. It's technically impossible. So if you're going to be applying for a role as a data engineer, okay, you don't have experience, okay, you've never worked as a data engineer, but you have worked somewhere before. That's the key thing. You have worked somewhere before. And this is what we do during the CV review. We get to help you adjust your CV, to modify your CV to your current situation. So there are roles that I personally have taken on, that required me to have 7+ years of experience in a particular technology in which I don't have. But what did I do? Modify the CV to showcase. I'm not saying it's just to modify the CV to, it. All right. These technologies, you know how to use it, you know how to leverage it, you can deploy, you can do all the things you need to do. The next thing is how to sell yourself. So these are the things that you need to do for you during the CV review session. I'll walk you through all the things you need to do. And in terms of computer science degree, nobody is going to ask you for a computer science degree. All right. So even personally on my CV, I don't have education on my CV. All right, because nobody has really requested for it. Nobody has requested for, oh, what school did you go to? Or what did you finish with? Do you understand? All these questions never come up. So they're usually more skill-based. We are more skill-based. Let me even show you. Let me just, rather than talking about it, and you see exactly what I'm talking about. I'm just going to use a site here in the UK. That is, should I use read.com? Yeah, read.co.uk. And I'm going to use data. I'm going to search for data, and just to explain exactly what I'm trying to say. Okay, this is a site here in the UK, engineer. Okay, and I'm just going to take the first one. This is promoted. There's an advert. This ones are looking for a job. This ones are looking for people full time. Like that's why they are promoting it as the top ones. So let me just take this. Okay. So where do you see, you would never see education in any, maybe for advanced, well, I would say maybe in Nigeria, they might put it there just for the sake of putting it there. Do you understand? But if you're going to be looking for remote roles, nobody cares what you did in university. Nobody even cares if you went to university. And that's why I showed you that project I work with. So BBC did not ask me, okay, the project I just showed you, BBC did not ask me what did you go to school with? What did you finish your school? What did you finish in school? Nobody asked me that question because I did not do computer science. Do you understand? I did economics in school. Okay. Well, Adesa did chemistry. He did industrial chemistry. We have Brahima that did mechanical engineering. So these are all non-IT related roles, but they're taking on, technical roles itself. So there are quite a number of people I know. Even me personally, like I said, I did economics. I didn't do computer science, but now I can take on data engineering roles. All right, in any country, in anywhere I find myself. So education is not a requirement. I can check another one if you doubt exactly what I'm trying to say. So I'm going to check another one. This one is 55 to 75,000 pounds per annum. So even in the UK, see the jobs that are available for you to apply to, and you're not applying to. All right. So same thing. Developing Snowflake's data warehouse. Like I said, this is a data architecture framework. Okay, building into your pipelines, you will learn it. Work using DBT on a daily basis, product analysis. So Python, SQL, DBT literally is a skill. You know how to use the technology. That's exactly what these people are looking for. All right. So, and these are the things that you're going to learn. These are the things you are going to learn. And you think the jobs, when we said the average salary of a data engineer is £52,000. Now, looking at all these job roles that you see here, even this is £500 to £700 per day. So these are jobs that people within the UK can actually take on. And I've showed you the one for remote roles. Okay, these are the ones in the UK: 50,000, 7,000, 50 to 70, 40 to 50, 45 to 60. Same number of roles that are being posted on a daily basis. On a daily basis that you can apply to. And this is just read.co.uk. All right. So you can always modify your CV to show previous experience. And those are the things that we'll do during the CV review session. All right. So Bright, I hope that answers your question.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much.
All right, don't worry, we'll work with you. That's the case. That's what we do. All right. Majority of the people that came with us, we had a lady that had always been a baker. So even before she finished university, she had been baking. And I like to tell this story because most people don't believe it. Most people don't believe it can happen. She has always been baking. So she moved from Nigeria with a family to the UK. All right. And she obviously attended the masterclass like everyone is attending at the moment. And she was like, she reached out to me personally, and she was like, "Oh, we should be able to do this." All right. She has never worked before. She has not worked in any organization before. I said, "Don't worry, we'll work with you. I'll work with you." Do you understand? And she went through the data science training program. And guess what? She's currently working as a data scientist with the NHS here in the UK. All right. I think I have the testimonial here somewhere. I think I'm usually very proud to talk about her. Yes, this is it, a baby. All right. So what is she right here? I think first proper job in the UK. All right. So these are the things that we do because we've been doing it. Let me talk a little bit about Adebisi also. Adebisi also got a job with Jaguar Land Rover as what? As a data engineer. All right. Now, these are the things that people don't know exist that they can do. All right. And everybody thinks it's too much. Everybody thinks it's, I will learn too much. But is there anything? But hey, look at the pay that we just did for the UK. All right. People are doing care, and care will probably pay probably 28 to ridiculously 30K per annum. Okay. This role I'm talking about, people are doing two data engineering roles, working fully remotely. All right, working fully remotely, two jobs that are paying them an average of 50K, all right, per annum. All right. And some of them are doing contracts, which they are even earning more as contractors. So there's so many jobs you can do. In Canada, fantastic job opportunities in Canada. All right. There are no discount for Canada, it's still regular £600. I would need to check the link. Okay. I'll need to check the link to find out why that is like that. Let me just confirm. So full payment, if we click on full payment, it's actually £300 here. Okay, so I'm not sure why. All right, Jude, send me a message and I will work on that real quick. Okay, so Jude, are you on the group chat? Sorry. If you're on the group chat, could you send me a message or any of the admin a message and please let me know what the potential issues are. Okay, so these are the people that have gone through analytics. Let me just show you Idris Adebisi's LinkedIn profile. and then call it a day after that. So I'm just going to go on LinkedIn and I'm going to show you what an EPC went through. All right. Idris at DBC. Is it at DBC? Yes. Idris at DBC, data engineer. All right. Fantastic guy. Absolutely fantastic guy. And I'm just going to show you what his career experience. You see? All right. Data analyst with Hugo, data science, and he did data science with what? With analytics. Three. Just it did for it started last year during his when I was doing his masters, and eventually got a job with Jaguar Land Rover as a data engineer. Just what? 5 months ago. All right. So these are the things that we're going to teach you, and you get to transition into your desired career path, because that's what we do. That's our work. Do you understand? You're in Canada, you're in the US. I've been able to clear out the doubt on the degree issue. That's good. All right. Thank you very much. All right. So, those are the things that you can go through. All right. And, everything that we're doing here is to get more Africans into tech. A lot of people think tech is one mad, do you understand? One ridiculously difficulty. Trust me, having good mentors will open so much ways for you. I wish, there were people like this back then when I started. That was my career path would have been faster than this. I can guarantee you that. All right. And that's the same thing we're trying to do for more people, to get more people into the tech space. Your first salary, you will not remember these investments you did in yourself. You will remember, trust me. All right. We have people one of the guys got a job with, I would say, I won't tell you the person, but his salary was over 60K here in the UK. All right. We had one in Canada, Nathan, currently work as a business data analyst, and he got that role. And I was like, what we are charging for our training program is actually cheap, because his first salary is is over 5,000 Canadian dollars. All right, I think it was about, I can't remember that, but it was over 5,000 Canadian dollars. And this guy was coming from a bank, working as collecting 215,000 naira in the bank in Nigeria. Got his PR, moved to Canada, while everybody was telling him to do, menial jobs to survive in the first 2-3 months of landing. He said, you know what? He would just devote it to learning a skill. He learned the skill. This guy earns more than every of his peer that has been in Canada for over 2 years. All right. So these are the things that we tell most people that people don't understand. All right. Tech roles are there, they're available. Who's going to see it? It's not just Brazilian, Ghanaians, it's not just the Europeans, the Americans, and so on. It's you, Africans, all right, that can actually take on these roles. And that's what we're trying to expose to people, that you can actually do this. All right. So no. Just send a message to just send a message, Jude, please just send a message to any of the admin on the group. Any admin on the group. I'm trying to click on the payment registration link to see for myself. So I can only see £300. Okay, and it's not showing very well here. Okay, card payment. Okay, so for PayPal, it's actually not, the PayPal link here is just showing £300. It's not even giving me for, okay, I'll need to check out what the issue is. But dude, please just send a message, to any of the admin, request that you want to speak to me, and I would do that. I would work with you. Please, can I chat you on WhatsApp? Shakirat, yes, you can. Send me a message. If you're on the WhatsApp group, send a message to any of the admin. Tell them you want to speak to Ifemena. Ifemena, my name is Ifemena. Okay, tell them you want to speak to the person that facilitated. Okay, just Ifemena, and I'll be happy to speak with you. All right. So don't worry, Jude. Send a message to any of the admin. Send a message if you're on WhatsApp, on the WhatsApp group. Send a message to any of the admin, and I would tell them you want to speak to Ifemena, and I'll work with you. Okay. You provide one-on-one meeting. Yes, we do. We do one-on-one meeting, one-on-one sessions, I mean. So we'll be having one-on-one sessions this week. So if you want to have any one-on-one session, please feel free to, book a session. We'll be sending out a booking session so you can book, or you can request for one, Jackson. All right, just send a message to any of the admin, and I'll be happy to, answer your questions, take all your questions, so on and so forth. All right. So, so Shakirat, are we good? Shakirat, are we good? Jude, can you send a message to any of the admins on WhatsApp and get just request for a Femena? Is that okay? Jude, can you confirm? Okay, all right, thanks. So I'm looking forward to your message. I'm looking forward to speaking with you. Shakirat, okay, yes, also thank you. Send a message to any of the admin if you want to speak with me directly. Send a message to any of the admin and I will be working with you. Just tell them you want to speak with Ifemena, okay? And they will reach out to you. All right. All right. So, anyways, please get this is early bird discount. It's not going to last forever. Trust me, it's not going to last forever. We have people reaching out, on towards after the early bird discount to say that, oh, my bank is this, my bank is that. I'm giving so many excuses and all that. In as much as we understand, these things happen, okay? You should understand it for us also. We want to get just the first 20 people to register, okay? And people can benefit from the early bird discount. All right. Daniel Pepera, yes, you can also send a message to, are you on the WhatsApp group, Daniel? Are you on the WhatsApp group, Daniel? You could just send a message to,
Yes, please.
yeah, send a message to any of the admins on the WhatsApp group. Tell them you want to speak with Ifemena and I will speak with you. All right. All right. Thank you very much, guys. So please, only early bird discounts. Okay, early bird discount is only available for the first 20 people to register. Please book your time. Okay, book it because after the 20 people, once you meet 20 people, it goes away. After 1 week, it goes away. So please, you don't have a limited time to get started. All right, thank you very much. I'm not going to talk too much. Okay, just know that this training program is designed to get you started in data engineering end to end. Career opportunities plenty. Let me speak pidgin. Careers opportunities plenty. Nigeria, Ghana, where you are across the world, you're in Europe, definitely it's a lot of opportunities for you. All right. So thanks a lot for taking out time to spend with us, even though there is a Champions League about to start or started already. All right, you're here with us. Thank you very much for taking out your time on the weekend. Really appreciate you taking out time. Really, really appreciate you big time. Thank you. Thanks a lot. And make sure you have a wonderful evening. And I'm looking forward to speaking to some of you. All right, I'm looking for one-on-one sessions and and so much more. So many things that we'll do together. All right. Thanks very much, and have a wonderful evening. Good night, everyone. Good night, everyone. Cheers.
Good night.
Good night. Thank you so much.
Good night. Yes, boss. Yes, boss. Cheers,
Good night.
guys. Good night.
Good night. Good night. Good night. Thank you very much,
Night.
Ifemena.
I appreciate you big time. Cheers.
Bye.
Nice. Thank you very much.